I need you to go get your printer.
Tony Gwynn Jr.
It went from 1 car to 8 cars, so I'm done. I'm not doing it.
Chris Allen.
And
And Matt Scraby.
I told you before when I was driving my Prius, I was like, hit me, dare ya?
Don't blame us for any side effects.
You thrilled our fans throughout the postseason with a great performance.
Gwynn and Chris are ready to go.
Happy middle of the week to you. Wednesday get together here
on Gwynn and Chris, 97.3 The Fan.
Tony Gwynn Jr. Down in Peoria, with the Padres. Matt Scraby alongside here at the Odyssey Palace Studios, otherwise known as the Bill House Studios. We know how, and we got a lot to get to on this Wednesday. We're going to take you down to Peoria, not only Tony, but Sam Lev will be joining us at the bottom of the hour for the very latest on the Padres in Peoria in spring training. I understand that Nick Castellanos slammed one up against the wall today against, was it Marinaccio, I think I read. And, so clearly he's ready. And it's going to be, look, I hope all the signings work. If they all work, they're going to have a problem, though, Tony. They're going to have to find a place for all 26 of their players. And not everybody's going to be able to make this team, right? I mean, that is one of the intriguing things to me.
Yeah, you can cross that bridge once you get over.
Yeah, right. Get to it first. Yeah, to have to worry about it.
Because typically, no matter how many players you sign that think you help them, a lot of them don't get to the end, whether it be injury,
something happens. Yeah,
right. Something usually happens. So
yeah,
but it'll be a problem that I'm sure AJ Preller would welcome to have. Yeah. They get to the end and everybody's just like killing it.
Yeah, if Ty France's light is up spring training and Castellanos continues and Miguel Andujar works out perfectly, and let's just say all 5 of the pitchers they signed over the last couple of weeks throw shutout baseball through March, But you're right. It's not going to happen, Tony, but it would be interesting if they had to make some sort of
Unfortunately, we already saw the first casualty of these new guys. Tirso Ornelas was DFA'd today. So,
that I didn't see that actually.
Yeah, it happened.
Is that a give up too soon thing, or is that something they had to do to make room for people, Tony?
I would assume that.
Well, Tirso is not young. He's not your young prospect. I know
anymore,
he's still in the minor leagues, but he's a little bit older, and it is it's pretty packed. He probably wasn't getting a lot of opportunity. Now he got designated, which means he has to clear through waivers. If no one picks him up, the Padres, he can return to the Padres, as just not on the 40-man. But it opens up space, though, for sure.
Well, there's going to be a lot happening with the Padres because it's going to be one of the more interesting spring trainings. I think we probably tend to say something like that at the beginning of every spring training, but I actually think we can back that up this year. When you've got 8 pitchers going for 2 spots, you've got basically 3 first basemen and 1 incumbent. I mean, Gavin Sheets was basically, I think, kind of told or was basically announced that he was going to be the guy at first base. And, right after that, Andujar might be playing some first base and Castellanos might be playing some first base, and he's working out. And Ty France is a Gold Glove first baseman just a year ago. So, that's going to be another thing that everybody will be keeping their eye on.
I have a question.
Okay.
Guys like Walker Buehler, if they don't make the 40-man, they're not going to be sticking around in AAA, right? Or is that something with
Walker? Walker probably has some type of out where he can get out and test free agency. I doubt that would be the case. Maybe he decides, this is where he wants to be, and he feels like this is the best organization and get him back to the big leagues. But I would guess that he has some type of out where he can get out and explore.
I can't imagine either Walker Buehler or German Marquez are going to be going to the minor leagues. Maybe Griffin, Castellanos isn't going to accept an assignment there either. I agree. They're going to make it or bust, I think. And, I think you could see somebody like a Griffin Canning, if he needed to get a little healthy or just kind of tidy up some things, you might be able to talk him into going down there and pitching a couple games, maybe Tristan McKenzie. But I think the established big leaguers, I think that would be very, very unlikely. So, but we'll get the latest from the expert on all of this, Sammy Levitt, coming up at the bottom of the hour. Before we get to that, though, and more Padres stuff, Tony, the Aztecs have met their kryptonite. And their kryptonite dresses
it's not green, it's purple, though.
Yeah, this kryptonite is all purple all the time. They cannot get over against Grand Canyon. And, I mean, look, you can come up with a whole bunch of reasons they lost this game. I'll tell you the main reason is that Grand Canyon is the worst three-point shooting team in the league. They make the fewest. They have the worst percentage. Scored 21 points from the arc last night, and the Aztecs only scored 9. And
they shot it well the first time, too, didn't they?
Yes, and the Aztecs shot it terrible the first time against them down there. The Aztecs were 3 of 15, and Grand Canyon was 7 of 19, which isn't extraordinary, but for them it was. And they made a lot of key threes, I thought. So they win the game by 10. They outscore you at the arc by 12. It's hard to win college basketball under those circumstances. Some of the Aztec guys did not have good games. Magoon Guath had as many turnovers as he had points. He did not score until the final 3 minutes of the game. And Reese Dixon Waters, who has been incredible for a month and a half, picked a bad night to have a bad night. He could not get anything going, and a couple of key turnovers late for him. But on the other side, Tony, the kid Henley for Grand Canyon scored 21 points, made the around-the-back driving dunk in the first half.
Yeah, he did.
That was an NBA, that would have made an NBA highlight reel dunk. And I'm looking at these guys on Grand Canyon, and I'm thinking, how'd they lose 6 games, 7, 8 games playing like this in the conference? It's just the second game in a row. They've looked real good. And, they do talk about matchups in basketball a lot, Tony. I think we don't play a lot of heed to it. We think the better team ought to win every time. But this matchup just doesn't work. I mean, Grand Canyon just looks good, and we don't.
Listen, their guards were in the paint all night long.
And we usually don't allow that.
That's not something that you see often. And, credit to them. They got to the paint. They got a good set. They got some good size, a 7-footer down there for
he had
Grand
a double game. Yeah, better than any game he's probably had all year.
Exactly. So, and guess what? That's all attributed to the guards getting in the paint, causing havoc. Defender has to come help.
Yeah.
You drop it off. He had so many either putbacks because the help defender had to go try to contest. He was there for the rebound, or he just got an easy bucket because they put it in his lap after getting into the paint. And to me, the Aztecs didn't play well enough from a take care of the ball standpoint and from an offensive standpoint. Really outside of Bird.
Bird was the only guy last night. Yeah.
He was the only guy really who you felt like every time he touched the ball, he could get a bucket. But he only took 9 shots yesterday. It was tremendous, but he didn't have no help last night. And listen, when you play in a team that the matchup may be tough on you, you got to do all the other things well, and the Aztecs didn't do it. It seemed like last night.
No, Bird was
it was
the
a
only
frustrating game to watch.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy it. I don't enjoy. Here's the thing: I don't enjoy about a lot of Mountain West games. I say it all the time.
Oh my
they
God!
They call too many fouls. Stop calling every foul. Let these kids play some basketball. Have a feel for the game. They wreck it for both
atrocious.
Teams. It's not even complaining on the Aztec side. It's just atrocious for everybody.
The first 10 minutes of that game was. First 13 minutes of that game was horrible to watch because there was a whistle. I think at one point there were 7 straight possessions where a whistle was blown. It was terrible to watch. And you and me are on the same page as it pertains to the Mountain West officials, because I feel like I'm saying that often. Yesterday was an extreme case early. But I often am saying, man, it'd be nice to get some flow to this game. Just kind of let them play a little bit.
Yeah, they can't do it. And you know what? I mean, I'll tell you one thing. When that team won got to the final game, Final Four a few years ago, one of the things that team benefited from was getting into the NCAA tournament and actually being able to manhandle some teams on defense. And the likes of Mensa and the likes of all those kids down in the pay, Keyshawn Johnson playing defense, and they were allowed to be a little physical and make it tough on some of those kids. And I think
they were. You
have to let some of that go. I get the hand checking 40 feet from the basket when the guy doesn't lose the basketball. You know what a good ref says? Get your hands off. Get your hands off. You don't need to call it. Nothing happened there. Just say hands off. Now, if the guy's going to go ahead and keep putting his hands back on there, then I'm going to have to call you on it. But a good referee just talks him out of it, keeps the game going. There's so many instances like that I see in Aztec basketball games. And, maybe the fact they were losing made it a little harder to stomach last night. But, I just, look, I'm reading Twitter today, and that's a dangerous place to go. But yes, I honestly saw at least 3 or 4 separate tweets today from people who think, Brian Dutcher's just got to go. This is boggling my mind, honestly, based on the fact that he and Fisher have built one of the greatest programs in the country for 2.5 decades, and people are calling this a disastrous season. They're still 18-7. Let me remind you that 18-7 would have been the holy grail before those two guys came in, and the season is far from over. I do believe, Tony, they're going to have to win their last 5 games if they want to get back in an at-large consideration. That's going to be tough to do, considering they have to go to the pit, they have to go to Boise State. But even if they don't do that, I still always have confidence that they can get it done in the Mountain West tourney. This team has not played its capability all year. Maybe it never will. And that'll just be the bottom line on this season. But if you think I'm ever going to jump off the Brian Dutcher or any of these kids' bandwagon, you're crazy. Based on what they've given us for 2 decades straight, 18-7 and, losing a tough one to a team that just seems to have your number, not going to change my thinking, and I'm sure not yours.
Nah, not at all. I mean, it was a bad game. They haven't been consistent, and I take that. They've been consistent at times. Yesterday was not a good one, but you can't. I thought when you initially said that to us off screen that there was like 15, 20.
No, it was 3 or 4, but enough. Yeah, still enough to annoy me.
You should expect. There's a lot of wackos out there. So
Sorry, Chris, those are my burners.
Was that all your burner accounts?
And I tagged Chris LOST just so he saw it.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Grand Canyon, they have been a problem. Not only did they sweep the men twice, the whole thing this year, and they're now 6-1 all time. But the women's team's only loss this year in conference was to Grand Canyon as well.
Ever since Tony's daughter committed to Grand
Tony's
Canyon.
daughter's the problem.
Things have changed.
Tony's daughter is
don't do that.
When he takes off of that Aztec sweatshirt, he's got lopes underneath there.
Oh, he definitely did. It's closer to his heart, Chris.
It's got lopes under there.
You guys are silly.
All right. Anyway, speaking of the women, great key game tonight against UNLV. I know they're, getting the students riled up to be out there, and I hope you guys will come out. It should be, all of you, any of you out there that are looking for a good game to see it will be a great game tonight against UNLV on the women's side. All right, we're underway. A lot more Padres talk. There's a lot of big stories going on. We should also mention that USD has fired their head coach. Mr. Steve Lavin was relieved of his duties today. We'll discuss what that means a little bit as we move forward here on Gwynn and Chris.
Hot tub. Major manufacturers and warehouse.
Lot going on in sports. Chris kind of alluded to a lot of big stories. Continue kind of, I don't want to say fallout, but MLBPA situation in baseball. You got some college basketball. Mick Cronin doing his thing again. You got over in Europe and another
Mick
one of
Cronin
these,
doing his thing again. The comedy stylings of Mick Cronin. We'll see how long that holds up for him.
Another one of these racial issues in the Premier League.
Yeah, come on,
across the ocean there. It might not have been the Premier. I think it's La Liga actually, because Real Madrid is in that.
Yes, they're La Liga.
Lots
Listen to
to
me sounding like I know what I'm talking about.
I was just about to say, when did
yes,
Chris
Tony,
become a
that's
La
definitely
Liga
La
expert?
Liga. Yeah, definitely La Liga. Sure. Come on. Yeah, keep up with your soccer, will you, please?
Well, something that should make you happy. I know you were not happy with David Schoenfeld's list, but Buster Olney had a list of his own. He kind of went through the top 10 relievers. We did one maybe last week. We did a top 10 relievers. We were kind of making mention that Mason Miller wasn't the top reliever. I think he was number 2.
Yeah.
Well, in Buster Olney's top 10, Mason Miller does sit at the number 1 spot.
And he said it wasn't even close in his mind.
It shouldn't really be close, honestly.
No, the man struck out 8 of the 9 Cubs he faced in the playoff last year. If that's not enough for you, look at the rest of his numbers. Here's the thing. Baseball Tonight, or whatever they are, MLB Network people, I don't like to lump them all in with Brian Kinney, but I have to sometimes. When that guy is leading the show and they tell me that the top reliever in all of baseball is Aroldis Chapman and Mason Miller is second, I say, fine, that's your opinion. They try to back it up. They say this, they say that, whatever they do. Then fast forward to Buster Olney, a guy that I actually have a little more respect for. If you look at that top 10 list he made, Tony, Mason Miller number 1, Aroldis Chapman isn't on it. He's not even in the best of the rest. Now, I don't know if that's an oversight or because he put Garrett Whitlock in there, who's on the Red Sox. Chapman is still the closer. Now, maybe Buster has a thing on Aroldis Chapman. I don't know. Because I think Chapman, we talked about it last week.
That's kind of crazy work to have him outside the top 10.
Outside the top 10, he didn't make best of the rest. He wasn't even in there.
I gotta think he forgot about
You think he forgot about him? I don't know. He mentioned the other Red Sox guy.
I don't think Buster forgot about him.
I don't think he forgot about him either. Buster's not the guy going to forget.
That he meant to leave on.
Are you saying that he may know something, as Chris said?
No, I'm not. I just don't know. I don't know.
I think what Chris is saying is the same thing that we say about, listen, whether you want to admit it or not, and maybe he has legitimate reason. Maybe he didn't qualify on his list based off this and that, but listen, everybody has a bias and everybody exercises it in different ways.
You notice how I said, yes, we do, because we all do, not just Buster.
It's kind of crazy that I have Aroldis on there especially after a year he had last year, but that's his list. He gets to make it how he wants to.
Right, it's his list. And I know Brian Kinney gets to make his how he wants to, but I also get to criticize the hell out of it if I want to, and
yes,
I do every single time.
Very much true.
And if he's going to put Chapman 1, I just think he couldn't be further off. But anyway, good for Buster giving Mason Miller a little love. I saw something again today. And again, it goes back to the Leo Dallas DeVries thing. And there's a nice story about him on one of these prospect websites. And basically the headline is something to the effect of, he has a chance to have the greatest career in Major League, that one of those things.
Right.
And I agree. Maybe he does. He's got every tool in the book. We've seen it all. And then, people respond to it. And they say, I don't care that we got Mason Miller. This was going to be a dumb trade that's going to haunt us for years. I guess it could be. But don't forget, whenever you rate this trade, no matter what Leo Dallas DeVries ends up doing, that we got at least 2 free years of Mason Miller where the A is getting nothing. That has to go into it. And that to me is the secret of trading a lot of these prospects. Every now and again, one of them is going to rise, and maybe Leo will be the guy. But you're still getting freebies now.
I love when people get up there and be like, "Oh, we're gonna look at me." Shut up. Tell you what. How about this? How about this? Let's go with this. What player would Leo have to be like in order for us to feel like, damn, we missed that one? Like what player in the league right now?
Yeah, he'd have to be pretty good, like Ronald Acuna good.
Like Bobby Witt Jr.
Yeah.
Is that what we're is seriously?
I think so.
Is that the okay, that's what I'm thinking too, right? So unless he reaches that quality, and listen, I believe that all the guys that typically they say that about, it's a true statement. Like they could become that, but baseball is really hard, and a lot don't become that because it's just there's so many factors that go into it. So I hope Leo turns into the phenomenal player that he is, that he is potentially going to be. But right now, anybody saying that they know for a fact that we're going to regret this trade, it's just lying through their teeth. They can't possibly know that. Mason Miller's here now, and it's silly, especially considering throughout the history of baseball, all of the prospects that have been traded, the majority don't turn out to be what they're supposed to be. That is just a cold hard fact,
right? And the fact that we're getting Mason Miller for free now, to me, is also compounded by the fact that he was just rated the #1 relief pitcher in baseball by people, a guy who knows
like
a lot.
An upgrade.
The point being, even if DeVries becomes Ronald Acuna,
right,
we've got the best reliever in baseball in exchange. So we still got something. So, and to say that Leo DeVries is going to be Acuna, that's a hell of a stretch at this point.
By the way, Leo DeVries would still be in minor leagues for the Padres. There's still nowhere for him to play at this particular point, unless you're going to change him into there's nowhere for him to play. He's not going to play first.
Let me ask another question on this same subject, and this is really rewriting history, okay? But it's kind of the same idea, I feel. A couple of years ago, I'm pretty sure the Padres could have traded Ethan Salas and got just about anything they wanted in return.
You're probably right about
and I
that.
would say 99% of us said, oh, God, no, we got to hold on to this kid. He's a sure thing.
100%.
And our catching situation is going to be taken care of for the next decade. We got to – this is the guy. Now, he still may be the guy. We don't know. It's not over yet. But here we are 2 years later. You couldn't get very much for Ethan Salas right now based on, what he did last year. So that has to be talked about.
That goes to the variables that play into this, which is why you can't predict, because you're 1,000%. Because I put my hands up. I was certainly one of those people that was like, hell no, don't trade him.
Don't trade him.
Don't trade him at all. But you know what? I mean, at this point, he's going to come back this year healthy, and he has by all accounts, this is a year he's got to go out and kind of prove.
I agree, Tony.
That he's ready to take that next step.
Yeah.
And it's not that he's proven the Padres are going to give up on him, but eventually the noise starts to go away if the production doesn't follow. And listen, it's not necessarily because of anything he did. He got hurt. It took away basically a whole season from him last year. He played a little bit, but I just think that's a great example, right? Because he was a can't miss, even though he was 16 or whatever he was when he first signed. All of a sudden, we have moved a few years down the line, and he had been surpassed by Leo at that point for the top prospect, right? And so, Padres trade Leo, he could very well turn out into Ronald Acuna, the second coming. But Padres, as you said, they got the #1 reliever in baseball, and they got him for a few years. And who knows? He could be here for a lot longer than that when it's all said and done.
Sam Levitt, we got him for a few years. That was a pretty good pickup by us.
Maybe.
Oh,
he's going to be like
he's already in demand.
No, he's going to be like national guy by the end of the year.
You think?
Sam the
He's
Great
people.com. He's a Dove. He's
oh,
a
that's
Dove.
true. He's in People
He has
magazine.
a Dove ad now where
we're
he's
gonna-
putting on
we're gonna-
deodorant.
What?
we're gonna have to talk about him exposing his armpits for everybody. We're gonna get into that.
Oh, the
We're gonna get-
streaky water.
we're gonna get into that when he comes on. I gotta ask him about it. More Gwynn and Chris on the other side.
Ben and Woods.
not allowed to tell anybody what's happening in the U.S. hockey game. I've been sworn to secrecy. The only issue I would say is that if you're planning on watching it later when you get home, I don't know that they're going to have it on later. Like, do they re-show the hockey later? Because it's happening live right now. I'm not going to say anything.
Good.
I don't want anybody like Scraby's mother to get upset with me.
I like how
mad
Chris
at
has
me.
become the victim in this whole thing.
No, I apologized for
I like how
giving
you
the
become on the other side of this when you were like used to be personally antagonizing Chris with giving him scores. Now you're playing on the other side.
Oh
of
no
this
no
whole
no
deal.
no! My side of the whole thing is that Chris is the biggest proponent for not telling anyone scores, and then he decided I was going to tell everyone what happened, which is very ironic to me. That the guy who's been fighting against it for years.
I think you guys both fit in that box. You just from the opposite side. You enjoyed ruining it for others, and now that Chris has supposedly ruined it for a few, you're on his head top about it. But you used to do that all the time.
I honestly didn't think there was going to be this much backlash. To be honest with you, I didn't think I was going to get a phone call after the show. It was.
Hi, Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the hockey. So if you want to watch it live, it's happening. If not, maybe you'll watch it later. Sam Levitt.
Can you get me up? Can you get me up to speed on what this discussion is?
This discussion?
Yes.
Sam is right. Hi, Sam.
Well, let me understand. So you're not supposed to update the audience on the hockey game in case they want to watch it later. Who decided that?
Okay, wait. Can we start over?
Yeah,
can we start over?
Thank you, Sam.
2026.
Thank you, Sam. Everybody's decided
Hold on.
this.
Who decided that?
We have to start
that's
over.
a great question.
We have to start over because Chris's rule the entire time we've worked here is I don't want to know anything I'm taping, so we can't talk about it. And then on Friday he comes on and goes, "Oh well, the quad god fell and he came in eighth." And this is like the biggest disaster of all time. And then I got messages saying I was looking forward to watching.
You got a
that
message
later.
from your mom.
And I got messages on the chat.
he got a message
from his mom, and so that has triggered his, discussion. So what Sam is trying to say is it's 2026. I
think in
do everything in my power to not hear
but
scores.
That's the thing is Chris doesn't want to hear the scores, and then he just went and said it to everyone.
Yeah, well, I knew the result of that one, so I wasn't waiting around.
He's not
I thought that the quad god falling was such a shocking development that I felt it needed to be told. But anyway, since that happened, Sam, if you want to know the score of the hockey, look at your phone, and you'll have to pick it up that way because I can't tell you. I don't want to take any more.
Before we move to baseball, real topics.
Oh no,
Sam, I gotta ask you about the Dove, man. I just recently
Make sure
saw
you get that Dove Man maximum protection. If you're not using Dove Man maximum protection, what are you doing?
Did you have any hesitation at all in showing off your armpit?
No, I'll tell you why. They wanted an application shot, and I was not comfortable while I was filming my entire chest. So the solution was to just get an up close shot of the armpit.
Fair enough,
So
brother.
and guess what? Wasn't edited out. The feedback was good, so I went for it and never thought about it again. I know. You never thought that you would be scrolling on Instagram and see such a close-up shot of Sam's armpit. I know. Jarring.
Why am I not surprised that you are now selling Dove soap on the Instagram, being as you are one of the biggest social media butterflies of all time, at least in my world. So how did this come about, Sam? How did this? Can you give me a quick Reader's Digest version of this?
Yeah, this is not the first ad I've done, but
sorry, Sam, I didn't realize you've done so many.
I've done quite a few. Going back to
yes, I do know who we're talking to. I didn't know he was consistently
going back a ways
all
now.
Right.
So here and there. But it was a nice opportunity, and make sure you get that Doveman maximum protection.
Okay, we get it.
Well,
96 hours. 96 hours of odor protection.
The boss wants to weigh in on this hockey thing. So
Lord.
Here's Adam. He's on the phone. Go ahead, Adam.
Being an uncle, and now he's out here on the phone with us. What's up, Uncle? What's up, Uncle Adam?
Hi, Uncle Adam.
Hey guys.
What's up?
Look, I just made a very quick comment to Chris. I think figure skating is a short, compact event that a lot of people look forward to and watch, and they do that in the prime time. I didn't tell Chris not to talk about it. I just said to give a little spoiler alert, like, hey, I'm about to tell you what happened to the quad god. If you don't want to hear it, turn down for a second. Hockey is what, a 2-hour, 2.5, 3-hour event. I get it that people are likely not going to go back and watch that whole thing. So I think that's a little bit different than figure skating, or like when Michael Phelps was in the Olympics and everybody tuned in prime time to see his swimming.
Very good.
The king has spoken. The king has spoken.
Yes. Can we get to the next caller? Thank you, caller. Thank you. Please drive safely out there. Be careful.
First time, long time.
He said first time, long time. I appreciate that.
Thank you for your input, caller. Very, very kind of you.
Oh, thank you,
By
Adam.
the way,
Is he
none
okay?
That's funny.
none of us ratted on Adam. I didn't actually. I said, I wonder who came
right.
up with this idea. No one actually said it was Adam. He just told
he
himself.
ratted on himself. All right. Well, too bad. I don't care if you're dying to know the score of the hockey game right now. You ain't getting it from me. So good luck with all of that. All right. Let's get to you, Sammy. What's happening in Peoria, my friend, where there's no ice anywhere in sight?
Well, Tony Gwynn Jr. has arrived at camp, so that's been a nice highlight, having Tony around. Today was, weather-wise, definitely the worst day we've had. Very windy, very cold, rainy. In fact, during I would call today more of like almost a simulated game today rather than just live at bats. At the big stadium today, it started raining pretty hard for a little portion of it. So activities today, more live ABs, more bullpens. Walker Buehler throwing his first bullpen as a Padre, which, excuse me. Sorry, guys, got a little frog in my throat there.
Don't worry,
Walker
it happens
Buehler
to me all the time mid-show.
Well, there's no mute button on this box, so I got to turn the mic off to fully get rid of it. Sorry.
Pretty soon you'll
Walker
be doing an ad for a box that mutes properly for you.
Walker Buehler throwing his first pen today, which, look, it's going to be interesting to see what Walker brings. And he had a good finish to the year in Philadelphia, and obviously has a resume and has talent, and we're going to see what he brings and if he can break camp with this team. And I just think, it's interesting to see Walker Buehler, a longtime Dodger and a guy that Padres fans generally have not liked very much in the brown and gold, and out there today throwing a bullpen. Other than that, today, the live at bats, Castellanos, Tatis, Merrill hit a home run. Castellanos hit a double off the center field fence. It was interesting today. One reason they did the sim game at the stadium was they wanted to test out the ABS system and also get the players at least a little bit familiar with it. So that was one of the reasons they were over there today. So that's kind of a rundown of the happenings of today, and one more day tomorrow of I'm sure kind of the same stuff, and then we get rolling with the Cactus League on Friday.
A lot of eyeballs watching Walker Buehler with his bullpen.
Definitely.
Griffin Canning was out there. Joe Musgrove was out there along with Michael King. A lot of conversation. It was definitely outside of going to the big stadium for the simulated game. It's probably the thing that everybody was paying attention to most today.
Yeah, it was for sure the thing that I was looking forward to the most on the schedule. When I saw it this morning, I made it a priority to get over there and make sure I was there to get video. I mean, again, what do you take from a bullpen session? Personally, for me, every bullpen session I watch looks good from a major leaguer.
Yeah, right.
But the thing that's the thing that stood out to me just in watching today was it was one of those, and you do notice this in the bullpen, where Ruben was really, really involved, and he was involved in every pitch, and there was a lot of communication back and forth. And I think it makes a lot of sense when you consider that, this is right up Ruben's alley, working with the guy, getting the best out of him, maybe adjusting some of the things he's done to get him into the best version of himself. Obviously Walker's had a lot of injuries. Body hasn't really cooperated with him, but this is going to be a project for Ruben, for a guy that has had a lot of success and obviously at one time, had some of the best stuff in the game, period, as he was coming up and in the earlier part of his career with LA. And I'll just, you mentioned Griffin Canning. I'll kind of tie it into some of what I talked earlier about this morning on the morning show, which is, Griffin Canning spoke this morning about one of the factors he signed with the Padres was the fact that there's such a track record of the guys that have come through here on the pitching side and really developed and had really, really important years in their career. And we know the list. It goes on and on. You can point to the really, really good examples like Waka and Lugo, and I'd even use Michael King as an example. I mean, the Padres, I really believe, and a lot of this is due to Ruben and Ben Fritz and the work they've done, really have a reputation for being able to work with these pitchers and get the best out of them. I think that is a very real thing. And I think it's a big selling point for some of these pitchers when they're, a guy like Griffin Canning, who's probably evaluating around the same money from teams. And it's, maybe he has a few interested, and it's, which one do I want to go to? Where do I think gives me the best shot, to kind of have a nice year to propel myself into a bigger deal the year after. And I really, really do think that the work that Ruben Niebla and his staff have done, it's playing a role in attracting guys. And certainly I would imagine they view Walker Buehler as a guy that they're going to try to get the most out of. So it's intriguing. It is from what is he now in his career and what can he bring to this team potentially in 26. And also I think it's jarring for Dodger fans to see him in the brown and gold. And I think there is a little bit of that as well. It's like, wow, that's Walker Buehler in a Padre uniform, which is something that takes a little getting used to.
Yeah, the same Walker Buehler who, was kind of public enemy number one with Padre fans for a little while there. Very, very, outward, aggressive performer out there. And I don't think Padre fans appreciated Walker Buehler too much when he was setting them down over the years. But yeah, it's funny how sports can make strange bedfellows, as they say.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys remember Major League 2 when they got what was it? What was the catcher's name? Bachman or something like that, right? And when he would do the little shimmy as a Cleveland Indian at the time, Bob Uecker would go, and the crowd loves it, right? And then he got traded to the White Sox. He had to flip it. Now it's kind of the same thing for Walker Buehler, right? The crowd despised Walker in his tight pants. If he can get back to that level again, they would love him in those tight pants.
That it's funny you bring up the tight pants because I did have that thought as I was watching him. He did not have tight pants today. Now
he did.
He did it now. It's probably because it's his second day in camp. And
yes, give Tony Patrica's staff a little time, Sam. They'll get on it.
It'll be interesting to see as time goes on. Does he have tight pants, or is he kind of giving that up? But today he had very much looser fitting pants for sure.
Looser stuff.
That's the stuff you can't get anywhere else.
No, you don't need that if you're
and it's important to me.
It is. Hey, Sam, what do you make of the fact that all of these guys, you talked to, having Ruben Niebla and the potential and Petco Park, to me, explains some of the reason why we got so many pitchers coming in here right at the last minute. But the one thing that doesn't explain to me is why you'd want to go somewhere where there's like 5-6 other guys rather than going maybe to a situation where you only had to beat out 1 or 2 other guys to get a rotation spot. I mean, look, Marquez could throw lights out and still not get chosen because, let's say, Walker Buehler and Griffin Canning throw a little better.
Right. Yeah, I mean, look, I think when you're evaluating the Padres, if I'm a pitcher, if I'm a starting pitcher, I mean, I understand now there are a lot of names in camp that are competing for 1, maybe 2 spots. I mean, look, I continue to believe pretty firmly, and just a side note here, pretty firmly that Randy Vasquez has a very much inside track to being in this rotation.
Right.
Look, I do think you just wonder a little bit if a couple of these guys show up and pitch really well. I don't know. Randy's out of options. Okay. Could there be a situation where, you try to keep Randy and also keep a couple of guys in the rotation and maybe Randy's working out of the bullpen? I don't know. I still expect Randy's going to be in this rotation, and that's probably a conversation for as we get deeper into spring. But, Chris, I think from the depth standpoint, if I'm a free agent pitcher at this time of year, I do kind of like the Padres for the reasoning of being able to work with, I think, what's a really good pitching group. But look, you very well, even if you don't make the opening day roster, could be that 6th, 7th guy.
Yeah.
And on the way up when you need him. And look, we know how this goes. I mean, you don't wish injury on anybody, but you need more than 5 starting pitchers. I mean, you're going to need 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, it just is the way it goes. We know that. So, whether you're a Walker Buehler or Herman Marquez or a Griffin Canning or a Tristan McKenzie, who I think I saw on social media, Tony, I think you talked about how good he looked yesterday. I had somebody else say that to me yesterday. I didn't see him throw. That he looked really good yesterday.
He did.
Look, those guys I think are very well, and not everybody's going to make the opening day roster, but I think those guys are going to be right there, kind of on the outside as far as guys that are right there for depth when they need it. So look, the Padres don't, and this is unlike a lot of other teams, they don't have young pitching prospects that are like ready. I mean, maybe the closest guy would be this Miguel Mendez.
Yeah.
I don't know how ready he is or not. He still only has made a handful of starts at AA. So, from that perspective, it's not like you're competing against, kind of top prospects, pitching types that are right there. They're not. So I actually think it's pretty attractive because you may be in the group that's relied upon at some point.
I think that's important. I think you got to also factor in the competition part. Some of these guys are, in their mind are like, I can beat any one of these guys out for a job.
Right. Yeah.
And that's kind of the mindset you got to have when you're coming in. And this is something I had to deal with throughout my whole career. I was never coming in, maybe with the exception of 1 year, where I had a job or I was going to definitely be the guy off the bench. Most of the time I was coming in to win a job, and you have to have that mindset that I'm gonna outperform whoever it is, and I'm gonna win this job. I did want to ask you, Sam, because today we got a chance to watch a little bit of the cuts and relays, seeing them kind of out there.
Yeah.
You saw some guys in some different positions than maybe you might have expected to see them. It's kind of we're kind of rounding into that first spring training game type deal here. There's a little more details that seem like were added to the plate today.
Yeah, today was the first day they really did the full cuts and relays, which is always fun. It's, to be honest with you, it's not the best for my video purposes because there's a lot of guys standing around between. It's between the outfield and there's balls going too far. It's all over the place. So, but it was good to see them do that today. And you're right, we're getting more towards kind of what feels like games. And look, it's going to be, just to focus on the defense for a second. I think one thing to really look at as we get started here is first base. I think that's a fascinating spot for this team when you consider Gavin Sheets has played there a good amount in his career, but has not played there, quote unquote, every day for a long time. Nick Castellanos is over there working. He's never played there. Andujar has played there very little. Man, that's a hard position. I mean, talk about a tough position to learn.
Yeah.
So, that's going to be interesting. I think just as we talk about cuts and relays from a defensive standpoint, to me, that is kind of priority number one of figuring out how that's going to look at first base. And we go from there. But other than that, defensively, they're pretty set, which is good this time of year.
Sammy Levitt joining us from Peoria and joining us thanks to David P. Shapiro. That's
right. Speaking of David P. Shapiro, I've got my David P. Shapiro, I think it's Law Offices of David P. Shapiro water bottle, ice shaker.
When did this guy become a NASCAR driver?
Unbelievable. Yeah, he's just a walking
advertisement.
Shout out to the law offices of David P. Shapiro. Got it right
He's
here.
got the water bottle.
In fact,
We should be learning from Sam right now.
Yeah.
It's a really cool bottle because you're supposed to put the ice in here, and then the ice doesn't come out with the drink.
Well, so. David P. Shapiro bringing us Sammy from Peoria. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys. They help good people regain control of their futures when charged with a crime. Been doing it since 2010. Visit DavidPShapiroLaw.com and ask him for a water bottle at the very least. And I guess Sam is going to probably leave us now and go use the Bill Howe toilet, and then he'll exit the premises and run on over there to
the Rubio's Baja Fresh
whatever he's going to do. Yeah, I mean,
I know you have a break. I know you have a break. I know just quickly. One joke I used to make with some of the producers of the Padres games, the board ops. We used to say in the studio, like, how many sponsored elements could you fit into one scenario? Like, could you go, and I don't know if these are, I think many of these are still sponsors, but like, could you go through Soapy Joe's while eating Sinley Food Chicken and also like, I don't know, like
in the Bill House studio.
Could you make a day where, or like, I don't know. It's really
when Sam did Eco Water, he really sold it for me because I really did believe I could drink Eco Water out of anything.
With an Eco Water, yeah.
You want to drink out of a boot?
On your way to
Eco Water.
Then drive to Hamul Casino Resort. Like, could you pile them one on top of each other?
And then Dove armpits.
Yeah.
That's all
Well,
we
hey,
need.
we're closing
Make
in
sure
on the start of the regular season and the 1 hour Padres pregame commercial.
That's right.
Starring Sam Levitt. So
That's right.
it'll
That's
be coming
right.
up before you know it. Thanks,
Yes.
Sam.
Almost 1 month away.
Yes.
All right.
That's
See you
right.
guys.
All right.
Bye.
See
Sam
you,
Levitt
Sam.
with the latest and the greatest. And we got the oh, wait. I hate to tell you, in the Daily Gambit, we did wager on the United States hockey game. So Scraby may
we're
have to
doing
give the
this now,
score.
huh?
Uh-oh.
And if you give the score, Scraby, I want no part of that. That's all. It's all coming up next. See how we handle it.
Manny, you were the first chip to come in here. What does it feel like getting this organization back to the playoffs and back-to-back seasons?
Man, it feels great, man. I mean, it's unbelievable. You know, from that first meeting with AJ to meeting Ron and Peter, you just seen the growing pains of losing, falling short, making it to postseason, making it short, having an unbelievable team, and now being back here back-to-back. I mean, it's just, City of San Diego deserves it, the fans deserve it, and this organization as well.
Manny, you kind of put this team on your back through the mid portion of this season when the offense was a little bit waning. I mean, this is kind of what you do. How good does it feel to get them to this point and then have your teammates kind of pick you up there at the end?
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, I came here for a reason, was to win and pick up a team and ride, you know, and this is what I do. I've done it my entire career, continue doing it, and I got faith in my boys. I know that I can ride for a team for a little bit, and I know my boys are going to come up there and pick me up when I'm down as well, and they did that this whole month. And they picked me up, and look where we're at, man. We fought, we've grinded, you know, we've gone through the gauntlet as a team, and man, it just feels so good. Feels so good.
You guys, you kind of mentioned it. Last year, you guys got to the second half and just rolled. This year, it wasn't that easy. You guys had to really grind it out. Does it make getting to this point that much more fulfilling when you had to work that hard to get there?
I wouldn't say that because it's hard. I wouldn't say that, but man, it feels good to win. It feels good to win, to be back in this spot. And yeah, it hasn't been easy, but this team has fought. We fought since last year, and we're going to continue to do it.
You guys got 5 more games to go against some opponents that obviously the Brewers are where they are.
Really good.
The Diamondbacks still in this bad boy.
Yes, sir.
What are you guys trying to accomplish in these last 5?
We're not stopping. We're not stopping. Keep playing good baseball. We're going to continue to do it. You know, this isn't over. We got to get hot. We got to get going now, and we've been showing clips and going, but we got guys fully going. We got guys doing the things that need to get back to, and we're gonna get rolling. And when this business isn't finished, we got to continue to the end.
Congratulations, my friend. Manny, you were the first chip to come in here. What does it feel like getting this organization back to the playoffs and back-to-back seasons?
Man, it feels great, man. I mean, it's unbelievable. You know, from that first meeting with AJ to meeting Ron and Peter, you just seen the growing pains of losing, falling short, making it to postseason, making it short, having an unbelievable team, and now being back here back to back. I mean, it's just, city of San Diego deserves it, the fans deserve it, and this organization as well.
Man, you kind of put this team on your back through the mid portion of this season when the offense was a little bit waning. I mean, this is kind of what you do. How good does it feel to get them to this point and then have your teammates kind of pick you up there at the end?
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, I came here for a reason, was to win and pick up a team and ride, you know, and this is what I do. I've done it my entire career, continue doing it, and I got faith in my boys. I know that I can ride for a team for a little bit, and I know my boys are going to come up there and pick me up when I'm down as well, and they did that this whole month. And they picked me up, and look where we're at, man. We fought, we've grinded, you know, we've gone through the gauntlet as a team, and man, it just feels so good. Feels so good.
You guys, you kind of mentioned it. Last year, you guys got to the second half and just rolled. This year, it wasn't that easy. You guys had to really grind it out. Does it make getting to this point that much more fulfilling when you had to work that hard to get there?
I wouldn't say that because it's hard. I wouldn't say that, but man, it feels good to win. It feels good to win, to be back in this spot. And yeah, it hasn't been easy, but this team has fought. We fought since last year, and we're going to continue to do it.
You guys got 5 more games to go against some opponents that obviously the Brewers are where they are.
Really good.
The Diamondbacks still in this bad boy.
Yes, sir.
What are you guys trying to accomplish in these last 5?
We're not stopping. We're not stopping. Keep playing good baseball. We're going to continue to do it. You know, this isn't over. We got to get hot. We got to get going now, and we've been showing clips and going, but we got guys fully going. We got guys doing the things that need to get back to, and we're gonna get rolling. And when this business isn't finished, we got to continue to the end.
Congratulations, my friend. Manny, you were the first chip to come in here. What does it feel like getting this organization back to the playoffs and back-to-back seasons?
Man, it feels great, man. I mean, it's unbelievable. You know, from that first meeting with AJ to meeting Ron and Peter, you just seen the growing pains of losing, falling short, making it to postseason, making it short, having an unbelievable team, and now being back here back to back. I mean, it's just, city of San Diego deserves it, the fans deserve it, and this organization as well.
Man, you kind of put this team on your back through the mid portion of this season when the offense was a little bit waning. I mean, this is kind of what you do. How good does it feel to get them to this point and then have your teammates kind of pick you up there at the end?
Oh, yeah, man.
Indeed, we are ready to roll. 3:02 on the clock. Tony Gwynn Jr., Chris Ello, Matt Scraby, Daily Gambit headed your way. Shout out to Sammy the Great Levitt, Dove Zone, Sam Levitt.
Do you think he can give me some deodorant for free? I need to ask him.
I'm sure he could.
Deodorant's expensive.
He's probably
days.
got. It
I'm
is
glad to hear that
expensive,
you
but-
apparently use deodorant. That's good. Step in the right direction.
I am the least, I have actually been complimented many times that I don't smell. So
I don't know. Nobody. I've never
a pretty
gotten,
low bar. I just must say.
that is a
You
low
don't
bar.
smell.
Number one. Number two. I've never got close enough to you to find out for sure because you don't allow anybody to touch you.
that is true. I
Or
mean,
with
I'm
your
not-
So how could anybody have told you that you smell
Yeah,
good
right.
if you don't let anybody?
I mean,
in your bubble?
if a tree falls in the forest, does anybody hear it?
I used
it's
to.
the same thing. If no one's allowed to get near you, how do we know you
I
don't
used
smell?
to date people, and they would say you smell great.
Unbelievable. He's got an answer
Scraby.
ready, doesn't he? You got to give him
Scraby.
credit for that.
It's the truth.
I used to date people.
I used to, but no longer.
No,
Do I do
no,
that?
no, no
Giving that
longer.
up.
Yes, I've
All right,
definitely given that up.
let's move on very fast. Let's get to the Daily Gambit right now.
Do you like money?
I think about money a lot.
Do you like money without doing anything?
Winning.
Do you want to make money while watching sports?
I think Washington is immortal luck.
Washington! Woohoo! If you answered yes, this is your segment. Just don't blame us when you lose.
Nothing is ever your fault.
It's okay. Take it.
Gwynn and Chris go through the top bets of the day in The Daily Gambit on 97.3 The Fan.
Daily Gambit is our daily sports betting segment here on Gwynn and Chris. Please, everybody, gamble responsibly. And the NHL's worst nightmare may have come true. Sidney Crosby had to leave his game today.
Don't be telling anybody about what happened. They might watch it later.
Lower leg.
Man.
Okay.
Don't do that.
Let's just say spoiler alert.
Well, you didn't say that.
No, you can't. You didn't say that. You already spoiled it. You got to say that before
Oh, well,
you spoil
that's not really a spoiler.
Seems like a spoiler.
Here's our spoiler.
I mean,
sounder.
basically,
anytime you hear this, spoiler coming.
Basically, it sounds like a submarine going down, actually.
We're going to have to get into it in just a second, okay? Let's start with our Aztecs. Minus 8.5 last night against Grand Canyon University. Chris and Tony chose the Aztecs. I chose the Lopes. I wrote Aztecs, but the Lopes
According to you,
won.
we won.
Yeah, I know. Lopes won 73.
By the way,
63.
Big shot at the SD Union Tribune. Mark Ziegler wrote his usual great story on the game. The headline in the paper today said the Aztecs lost to the Antelopes, and that's just not their name.
The Antelope?
Yeah, and understand that Mark Ziegler did not write the headline, so don't get on him. Somebody in there wrote
his email box is full right now.
Yeah, it's like you can't call them the Antelopes. Well, he didn't call them the Antelopes. That's a mistake that really shouldn't be happening. People, come on.
Yeah, that's all right. Antelopes.
Cold game right there. Antelopes.
Yeah, that's tough.
The total score over under 139.5. Chris went under. Tony and I went over. It was just under at 136.
They're always so close on those.
Now we're going to talk about Michigan in the Big Five because some are saying they're the best regular season team in basketball history, college basketball history, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Michigan. Okay, yeah.
Michigan minus
no,
2.
Tell me why. Sorry.
I'll tell you why in the Big Five. Michigan at minus 2.5 at Purdue. Chris and I went Purdue. Tony went Michigan. And Michigan won 91-80. So
I think what he's going to get to is that they've won like a ridiculous number of games by double figures.
I think they've won 6 or 7 games by 40 or more points.
Yeah, they've done a lot of that.
Yeah, there's more than that. There's like 30-point games, 20-point games. So I'll break it all down.
All right.
Michigan State minus 8.5. UCLA. Michigan. This had so many more stories that came out of it other than the game. All of us went UCLA, and we shouldn't have because they lost 82 to 59.
None of us believed that Mick Cronin would allow his team to lose by 30 again, but they did. And then we all waited for the fallout. And if you haven't heard, the fallout came, and we are definitely going to talk about it.
Yes. So. Miami of Ohio minus 2.5 at UMass. You guys went UMass. I went Miami. Miami ended up winning this game by 9.
Yeah,
so,
stay undefeated.
Yes.
Good for them.
And now, spoiler.
Well, play your sounder, or people are going to call you out on it.
Team USA minus 1.5 on the puck line against Sweden. I don't remember what you guys. I chose Team USA.
I did too. And
but they went to overtime. They ended up winning. Team USA ended up winning 2-1. So they did not win the bet, but they won the game.
They survived. That overtime is really a coin flip in the Olympics. It's 3-on-3 hockey for 10 minutes. And, one puck slips in there and they would have been out. But they survived. Good for them. All right, here's what's coming up. Arizona. By the way, Arizona's dropped to number 4 in the nation. Do you know that Saturday, little spoiler alert, I'm not allowed to say anything that's coming up. Tony, Saturday, all 4 top teams in the nation are playing each other in college basketball. Arizona's playing Houston, and Duke is playing Michigan on Saturday. That is like insane.
Love that.
You could have the Final Four before the Final Four. Because those are the top 4.
Usually you get these matchups early in the season, not this late.
And you're going to have both those matchups on Saturday. Tonight, Arizona's home to BYU. Arizona's favored by 11.5. You don't need to know why I'm taking Arizona. Although they've lost 2 straight. Tony, you can't.
AZ, please.
You've never took BYU no matter what. They could give BYU 111 points. I wouldn't take BYU.
Did one of their best players just get injured for the year?
Arizona's?
No, BYU.
Don't follow them too closely. But no, I do know that one of their wide receivers got arrested for
I do
something
know that
terrible
too.
and thrown off the team.
Got kicked out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Saw that. Go ahead, Scrape. Who you get?
Richie Saunders was injured.
Okay.
And the injury is devastating, according to the quote, for the BYU. I'm going to go Arizona.
Arizona. 162.5 points in this same game. You got to get to like 83-80 to get over Tony. Arizona scores a lot, though, normally.
Yeah, they're going over that.
Over. Scrape.
Both of those teams get it up.
They do.
That's what she said?
Yeah, that wasn't what you needed to say, Scraby.
Wow.
I mean, we could have just got through that very
we
fine.
could have just kept it moving.
We have young kids who drive home with their parents who listen to the show.
I cannot pass up a Michael Scott moment, okay? I'm going to go
Why
over.
don't you're giving warnings on the scores. Maybe you should give warnings on those lines like that.
well,
too.
we should just move forward and then we can get away from this.
All right.
What did you do on this one?
We all went over on that. Utah State home 9.5 over Boise State. And if Utah State wins, they would go a game ahead of the Aztecs, of course, in the Mountain West. Scraby.
Ooh. I'll go Utah State.
All right. I will not be rooting for Utah State there. Rooting for a little help from the Broncos. Tony, how about you? I'm taking Boise.
Boise and who?
At Utah State. Utah State by 9.5.
Yeah, Boise keep it under there. They keep it under there.
By the way, we didn't get into it, but Utah State dunking with 3 seconds left to finish off a 30-point win over Memphis the other day did not make Penny Hardaway too happy. Utah State coach said, hey, these good teams won't play us. We have to, when we get the chance, do as well as we can because margin of victory counts when they're selecting the tournament. I got to agree with the Utah State coach on this one, even though I think it's bad sportsmanship to highlight reel a dunk
But
up
he's right.
25 with 3 seconds to go.
Dave created this situation.
Dave created this. Agreed. Tony, you any thoughts or?
No.
Okay.
I saw Penny upset about it. I saw some of the players seemed like they were kind of like, yeah, we'll talk to him type deal. But, if the head coach said that, then, that's what he said.
Yeah. See, even if they had that rule, I would still want my team to handle the game with class. But that's just me.
But then when you miss out in a spot.
Yeah,
then
you're right.
they're
If you missed it, yeah, I know.
And you get fired. You'd be like, never
then I get
again will I
fired.
do
But
that.
I handled it with class.
And now that I've been fired, I'm going to handle it with class and go away quietly.
I'm going to handle it with class and yell at everyone on my way up.
That's fair. Gonzaga 14.5 at San Francisco tonight. Scraby.
I do not have any faith in my team.
You've had no faith in the Dons, and the
they-
first time I went with the Dons against Gonzaga, it did not go well.
No, it did not. So you're
But
going to
you
go
know what?
Gonzaga again?
No, I'm taking you. USF.
Me?
Yeah, Gonzaga lost to Portland. They could lose to you guys.
I don't think so.
All right. Tony, Gonzaga minus 14.5 at USF. Don't you guys have a fun little arena
Gonzaga.
there that's hard to play?
I'm going Zags.
Zags.
Zags,
It's
baby.
like a high school gym.
Yeah.
No joke.
Zags. Well, the Zags isn't a whole lot. Okay, anyway, the kennel they play up in Spokane.
The kennel?
They do because they were the Bulldogs.
Oh, that's
they are
kinda
the
fun.
Bulldogs. They normally go by the Zags, though. What do you want, Scrape? Gonzaga, you going
Gonzaga.
against your?
Yeah,
Okay.
Gonzaga.
SDSU women, big one tonight, -3 over UNLV. This is my spread that's not officially out there, but teams are identical. Home court advantage gives the Aztecs a 3-point spread. And it is Tony's turn. Aztec women, UNLV tonight. Anthony.
What's the spread?
I went 3. Home court advantage is all I can give the Aztecs on this
give
one.
me the Aztecs there.
Aztecs. Scrape.
Yeah, I'll go Aztecs.
Yeah, we'll see if they. Yeah, I'm going to go. UNLV. The Aztecs have beaten them 3 of the last 4, which is pretty good. UNLV hasn't lost too many other games. USA women 2.5 over Canada tomorrow in the final gold medal match. USA beat Canada 5-0 earlier in the tournament. Scraby, does that factor into your?
It most certainly
selection?
does. America.
2.5. That's a lot, but
they won 5-0.
I know they did the first game. USA hasn't given up a goal since the first game of the tournament.
That's pretty good.
Like they've had 6 straight shutouts. That's crazy.
That's a lot of games too.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the Habs to keep it close. Canada for me.
What?
Yeah. 2.5's too many in a gold medal. Tony?
Canada.
Oh, another Hab.
What the heck just happened?
Two of us went for the Habs.
We live in America.
I thought so.
I know, but we're covering spreads, though. Buddy.
Yeah, this is important, Scraby. Come on, I was 1-5 yesterday.
Buddy.
I can't afford to have another bad day.
I should just throw everything away and just support America. So
I don't know. You took Grand Canyon last night with no problem against the hometown Aztecs.
You jumped on that one quick.
Look how that turned out.
Well, so
okay, that's how me and Chris feel.
Yeah, we got baseball tonight. Scraby, you can get us back here. Irvine, 4.5 runs over the 3-0 Aztecs baseball, baby.
Yeah.
Give me Kevin Vance's squad on the road. 4.5 runs. That's I would show my team that. Like that's like giving us no,
chance,
credit at all, Tony. You going Aztecs? They got some guys who were hitting at least over the weekend. They did.
Yeah, they did. 12 runs twice.
Yeah, they put some big numbers up.
I'll
some
go
transfers
Tex.
coming in. You're going Tex.
Yeah.
Huh?
Tex, baby.
All Tex. All the time. Hopefully that game will get played up in Irvine. It could be rained out, but as of now, I believe it's scheduled. At least last I checked on the Aztecs website.
Do you believe that it's going to rain? Because you told me that there was barely any rain over the weekend, even though there was quite a bit of rain over the weekend. Or on Monday, at least.
I just think that we, in general, and this is how I say it every time, so don't put words into my mouth. We, in general, overreact to rain around here. Like every rainstorm is the second coming of Noah's Ark, and it just isn't. Simple and true.
I saw every animal getting on a boat.
Did
earlier.
you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Okay. Tony Vitello,
That's
you guys want to talk about
script.
him?
Are you now reading the scripture?
I went
Noah's
to
Ark?
Catholic school.
Yes. Did you read a lot of scripture?
Kindergarten through 8th grade. Did I read scripture?
Yeah.
I read the Bible.
Can you give me just give me one of the
John 3:16?
All right, good enough. Oh, let's
There you
take
go.
that because I wouldn't know.
no idea what it
I wouldn't
means,
know
but-
another answer. I was gonna have you recite
going
some
to 18, I
Ecclesiastes,
assume.
but
We're what?
Is it 16 or 18? All right, 16 or 18?
We're good. We're good to go. Target or traffic's
let's-
ready. We're good to go.
you say go
Let's get
now.
to break.
Yeah.
Let's get to break. Traffic. Work with Chris on the other side.
From the 855 Cat.
Mr. Scraby. We're in the Odyssey Palace Studios. Tony's in Peoria. Padre baseball right here on 97.3 The Fan. The spring training opener just after noon, as in 12:10, I believe. First pitch Friday from Peoria. Jesse Agler, some guy named Tony Gwynn Jr. will have the call. Scraby and I and, whoever else will join after the game on Friday.
Yes.
But we are carrying the first preseason game for you. I remember a day and age when but stations carried every preseason game.
I mean, there's a big controversy in Angels land because the Angels are not going to broadcast any spring training game on TV at all.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really agree.
The only ones. I mean, we are the only team that I know of that does pretty much every game on the radio. Everybody else, I don't think.
Well, we don't do that. Well, you do them, but you don't do them on the radio. You do it on the screen. Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, so we do, we got about 9, 10, 11 games during spring, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
That are actually on the radio.
Yeah. Less than 10 for sure.
Less than 10, right? So, I mean, as Chris said, you used to be able to hear the games all the time in spring training, or at least most of them. But you'd be surprised. I mean, I give Don and Mud a lot of, noise because they come down, they get their 2 games in, and then they skedaddle on
I was
back
gonna say, they got it
to
easy.
San Diego. I mean, not only that, they only are doing they're doing 2 late ones, like in the end of March. So they're going to be chilling for a little bit. But most teams have gone away from it, honestly, since COVID. It's been like their excuse now.
And if you're going to tell me what the Angels are doing and expect me to think that's the way to go, probably not going to be the case. The Angels don't do a whole lot right.
I was bringing it up because
I know, but
because they're taking it away. I mean,
I think you should have a couple of TV games just to showcase your product.
Tyler says, "Man, all 12 of those fans are upset."
12 Angel fans.
Yeah, 12 Angel fans.
Yeah, there's not a lot of them anymore.
Not a lot.
They used to come out of the woodworks. Yeah.
Yeah. Dodgers first workout. Dave Roberts chose. Did you guys see this? To have both Kyle Tucker and Edwin Diaz go up in front of all of the team and explain why they chose the Dodgers.
Oh, that's easy. They gave me the most money.
I doubt that's what they said, but that was what Dave Roberts had them do.
I wouldn't be surprised at all if one of them dropped that on there. It would have been, I got a great laugh, I'm sure, out of everybody.
Yeah,
in there,
right.
They all
and it'd be easier than really having to come up with something.
I mean,
right.
They could say it's the tradition. They could say, they have Shohei Ohtani. No, it's the money, and that's fine.
It sure is.
In the story, though, this just a powerhouse for you. 2024, Ohtani, Yamamoto, Glasnow. 2025, Snell, Tanner Scott, Sasaki. This year, Tucker, Diaz. Man, that's a powerhouse group and a lot of money for the Dodgers.
Only 24 lived up to the billing, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
Snell did. But, Sasaki took pretty much the whole season.
And then it didn't it upset everybody that Sasaki was a disaster until all of a sudden they just needed a guy to close games in the playoffs. And they're like, yeah, why don't you do it? Like, what? You just chose one of the worst pitchers in baseball. And he came right in and didn't miss a thing.
Yeah, that was hard to stomach on
that
my
wasn't
end.
Easy. Giants are making a little news with their new manager, Tony Vitello. I like to throw it.
He tried to make him super Italian.
He's a long lost relative
of Tony Vitello.
No,
of you. I see.
Yeah, you got Chris Ello and you got Tony Vitello. Same group here. So be careful before you rip on the guy. But apparently, he says he wants to. Tony says that he's going to call pitches from the bench. Not a lot of clarity here on whether that means like he's going to be telling Logan Webb what to pitch to throw and things of that nature, Tony, but we'll see how it goes for Tony Vitello. I don't know that this is a great move at the big league level. I get it, in college where Dietz told me what to throw. I didn't think about it. I just threw it. I'm not going to argue with him.
Here, I'll just read you a little excerpt out of the article that which he's talking about. It says, yes, Vitello or Vitello, said last week, for now, he is reserving the right to call pitches from the dugout at times and takes the onus off of Patrick Bailey. He says, I quote, there's a lot of guys that were not happy with last year, right? This is a mutually exclusive year, but the past does have influence. And I think some of these guys are using last year's frustration, whether they are in the minor leagues or on the big league level, as motivation to be better prepared and to be a little hungrier this year. I think there's an openness to trying new things. I don't think it's going to be a hard line rule. Patrick Bailey is who he is, and the flow of the game is crucial. It'll be case by case, and it's something we'll roll through in spring training. But if you're gonna put me on the spot, I'll say occasionally, yeah, we'll do it.
Sounded like a lot of malarkey just to cover up the fact that he's not 100% sure he should be trying this.
Yeah,
that's my take on it.
Listen, I have no doubt. I have zero doubt. I feel 100% positive in saying that. I guarantee he got pushed back on this one. Guarantee. Yeah. Now, maybe he's not talking about. I can't imagine that he's talking about Logan Webb. What's my man, the lefty?
Robbie Ray.
Pretty good. Robbie Ray.
Oh, he was just grunting his face.
I can't imagine that he is going to try that. But we'll see. The fact that he brought it up, and I see it is almost kind of like testing the waters a little bit because it's going to get read. People are going to start talking.
Yeah.
How's his team feeling about it? How are guys? Has he had this like in an open meeting? Like, hey guys, listen, I'm thinking about calling pitches this year. Or did he drop this on there and kind of like, let's see what the guys say?
Well, he has had a very interesting start to his first ever spring training because the first meeting with reporters, he sits down and he goes in about how they misreported him leaving Tennessee. He was angry with the reporters. And so maybe we could play that a little bit later.
He kind of brought that up out of the blue, too.
No one asked him about it. He sits down. He's like, do you remember when you reported on me going to being the Giants manager?
Yeah,
and he was like, well, that's funny because it's not actually how it went type of thing.
Right. So basically, before I get to know any of you, I'm going to give you reason to, dislike me before I even open my mouth. Later. That's not a smart way to go, I don't think, but we'll see.
To that point of has this been a conversation with amongst the team? I don't think it is. It says and the article goes on to say, to this point, it's gone no further than a series of conversations among Vitello, Bailey, and Buster Posey. Frank Anderson, who's the director of pitching, and I think it's Justin McCage. But it's notable that Posey, who was a Gold Glove catcher who exclusively called his own game during a 12-year career that included 3 World Series and titles in December, will likely include first ballot Hall of Famer. Posey is as traditional as they come, and he's not stopping the conversation cold. So
I would say
that
in general, on the surface, to me, and I could care less. I hope the Giants are terrible. But we talked about Craig Stammen being a guy that is not going to come in and hasn't come in with a guy thinking he's got all the answers. Seems to me that a young manager coming up from college, if he was walking in to an established clubhouse and one of the very first things he's saying is, yeah, I'm thinking of calling pitches. To me, that's almost announcing that, yeah, you already know more than them. And I just think that's a dangerous tack to take. Whether he means to say that or not, I think it presents that, Tony. I really do.
I definitely think it's dangerous. But, they did hire him because he kind of the outside the box type of guy.
Right.
This is certainly going to be outside the box. Now, it must be said, Giants aren't the only one. The Marlins did this last year at times. I think we talked about it on this show.
Worked well for them as well.
And they did all right. So, we're going to see. We're going to see how this works. The difference, though, is the Marlins have a really young team that you can get to do these things. Giants don't have that. Giants have a well-established veteran team. And I tell you what, they might be open to it, but the moment that you are making the pitches and they're getting hit over the park, they're going to stop being open to it very quickly.
You call one pitch for Logan Webb that gets hit into the seats, that is not going to work.
It's over. It's over.
All right, we got Sports Court coming up, and the preview of Sports Court is very simple. Mick Cronin, has he lost it completely, or are we okay with him basically kicking his own player out of the game and sending him to the locker room last night? Are we okay with Mick Cronin's comments after the game? Because, general, we like Mick Cronin around here. Do we still like him? And there's other controversies to discuss. Doug Gottlieb, another coach who was screaming and yelling this week.
Buffalo Wild Wings and their boneless buffalo wings are in the news.
You fake wing likers out there. It's for you.
This is for you.
Go get the Tony doesn't mind because he didn't have to wear the hair today.
That's true.
Yes, I sure know.
He's happy with that.
Look, he's dancing.
Yeah, that's a happy moment for him. Either way, Sports Court is next.
From the first pitch of the
4:38 on the clock. Tony Gwynn Jr., Chris Cello. I think Matt Scraby's in the room. His camera is certainly not at him. Okay, he's there. 3:38 on the clock. We have sports courts coming up, and my two fellows over there will be wearing the wigs. I will be itch-free.
I might be holding the wig today. I don't know. Go ahead.
Oh, there it is.
Get it on.
There it is. There
You guys look very good in those things, I must say. All right. Well, let's we're already kind of rolling a little bit late anyway. Let's hop into our sports court.
Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855-GetRoss.com. Here's Kelly Danick.
This game day traffic report is brought to you by Crystal Geyser, Alpine Spring Water. Dry roads making all the difference in this afternoon's commute, guys. We still have a couple of problems, though. One of them is this crash blocking the right lane on southbound 163 just before the 8th. And southbound 5 past 28th Street. Accident has been moved over to the right shoulder. Unfortunately, still a lot of backup behind that and still affecting your trip on the Coronado Bridge heading off the island. What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water different? They always bottle their Alpine Spring Water less than 1.5 miles from the spring source, and all their bottles are made with 50% recycled plastic from their own recycling plants. Crystal Geyser, bottled at the spring source. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Do you have a sports issue, San Diego? Do you need a third party to make a decision? The guys have put on their robes and picked up their gavels.
All rise. Here comes the judge.
Gwynn and Chris Sports Court starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
First, if you love Mediterranean food, try Spiro's for authentic Mediterranean cuisine in Coronado or La Jolla. For dining or takeout options, visit spiroscuisine.com. And I don't know if you haven't seen us in the wigs, but you can go see us in the wigs on YouTube. Just go to Gwynn and Chris SD or 97.3 The Fan on YouTube. You'll be able to see these wigs. But we got some good stuff today. And we're going to start with Mick Cronin, the head coach of the UCLA Bruins. Now, there's two parts to this. And last night, UCLA was throttled by Michigan State, 89-52. But there were just a few news items coming out. And first, I'm going to present Exhibit A. Exhibit A is the play in question, which concludes with Coach Mick Cronin ejecting his own player from the game. Now, if you haven't seen this, I'm going to be putting it up on the stream for everyone to see. But they were UCLA was down 77-50 with 4:30 left in the game. They ended up throwing it down the court, and a UCLA player takes out a Michigan State player. A scuffle ensues, and then the weird part happened. After they kind of broke everything up, he's being told, the UCLA player is being told to go to the bench, and once they go back to Mick Cronin, he is then seen yelling at his player and pushing it or pointing towards the locker room. Player cannot believe that he's being ejected by his own coach. Player goes to the locker room. All right, that's Exhibit A, guys. Exhibit B, you're going to have to give me a second to get this up here.
That was good, though. Good visual of Exhibit A.
Thank you.
Not the best description. I just want to – no, you did well, but I don't think took out the Michigan State player is accurate. For those who didn't see the play, I think the UCLA player was trailing the Michigan State player on a breakaway, went, I thought, for the ball. And because of the speed of the two players racing down the court, it was definitely a major collision, and a flagrant foul was warranted and called. So,
okay, so that's Exhibit A. We're going to have to decide at the end what you're going to charge him with. Exhibit B is a completely separate situation for Mick Cronin, but it does involve him after the game. Here is Mick Cronin with a reporter after that loss last night.
What was your thought in the student section chanting Booker's name?
I could give a rat's ass about the other team's student section.
I just meant the overall the way that you.
I would like to give you a kudos for the worst question I've ever been asked.
Did you like
You should take it.
the preparation of the?
You really think I care about the other team's
No, I don't.
student
I don't
section?
think you care about the other.
Are you raising your voice at me?
No, I'm. Just
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Come on, dude.
No reason.
Come on. Yes, you are. Everybody's standing here listening to you. Everybody, this is on camera. They can hear you. I answered the question. I could give a rat's ass about the other team's student section.
I don't know why I laugh during this, but it is hilarious to me for some reason.
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
Well, I can tell which direction Chris is going here, but Tony, we're going to start with you. I am suggesting that you charge Mr. Cronin with 1 count of overreacting and ejecting his own player and 1 count of berating a reporter for no reason. Will you proceed with one, both, or no charges for Mr. Cronin?
I'll go through with 1 charge. It's the overreacting of throwing his player out. First, there's 4 minutes left in the game. They're getting beat by 27. Regardless the intention, he did take that kid out. He did. With a guy running full speed and it is off one leg, it's a dangerous play. He had no shot to catch up to that guy. So flagrant foul, certainly. I think Mick Cronin overreacted based on, I think probably the crowd, probably his frustration of being down 27 in that point with 4 minutes to go. So, yeah, I think the first count is legit. Second count, I'm throwing that one out of my court. Honestly, like the young man or gentleman who asked the question messed up initially by how he asked the first question. And then when he caught the ire of a coach that just lost by however many points he just lost to, he, instead of just wearing it and moving on, he fed into it. I'll take it. Well, now, okay, so we're gonna do this back and forth thing a little bit. And so, listen, you ask stupid questions, you might get answers of that. Now, if what he wanted to ask was about the atmosphere, he should have asked about how was the atmosphere tonight in the building? Did it have an effect? Instead, he focused on the student section. And I bet you almost all of the top tier coaches would have responded in a way like, maybe not necessarily in Mick Cronin's way, but they wouldn't have been thrilled with the question. If you would have asked Izzo that about a student section, he might have chopped off your head too, especially after getting boat race in a game they felt they should have been in.
What would Bobby Knight have done?
Yeah, and don't get me started on the whole Bobby Knight thing. I just think as much as Mick Cronin overreacted to the young man and throwing him out, I think everybody today is now overreacting, including Mr. Doyle, who we read that article earlier about.
Yes, it was an Indy Star. So we have a recommendation for 1 charge, not against the reporter question. It was the throwing out of the player.
Throwing his own player out of the game.
Chris, I have 2 charges against him. Which ones are you going to support?
Well, the first thing I want to say, I want to talk about what Tony just ruled upon. Mr. Cronin, pay attention now that you're in my courtroom. You know what? I kind of let it roll when you said 2 years ago that your players weren't all that smart and couldn't figure out things on the fly and make adjustments. I kind of let it roll last year when you said that your players were delusional and really had no clue of what they were trying to do out there and probably didn't belong here. The fact that you're back in front of me now for, again, another transgression with your own team is starting to get me to believe that it is time for you to start taking a little accountability for your own lousy coaching and, if at the very least, your choice of very lousy players. So, first of all, throwing his own player out of the game, Mick Cronin would also be the same guy that would say he wants his guys to be playing as hard as possible, whether they're up 25 or down 25. But when a player plays really, really hard and goes after a play, he says he had no business trying that play because we were down 25 points. Doesn't seem like you can win with Mick Cronin on that. And as far as the other one's concerned, okay, well, it's my ruling, sir. And as far as the other one's concerned, I don't know. I'm getting tired of this, honestly, from coaches now. And I'm going to rule that, he was out of pocket again.
On both charges?
Yeah, because the chanting that was going on was directed at a former player at Michigan State who transferred to UCLA. So it's understandable that only the student section was chanting this player's name. And that was what the question was. What did you think of the chanting of their name? So the question had to refer to the student section. The guy who asked the question did not say anything. after Mick Cronin said, I don't give a rat's ass about the student section. He didn't say anything. But then Mick Cronin came back and said, that's the dumbest question I've ever heard. And I think if the reporter had any gumption of all, he would have looked back and said, well, guess what? It follows only the dumbest answer I've ever heard. But you never hear a reporter say that. And if they did, they would be blown completely out of the water. Mick Cronin, to me, is a bully. And he's bullying his own players, and I believe he's starting to bully the media. And I think it's a really bad look for UCLA. And I don't know. Kansas State fired their coach for a lot less. Maybe UCLA needs to take a look at this.
Maybe you're trying to get him fired now, huh?
Yeah, I do. I think UCLA ought to consider it. I think Mick Cronin is, after almost every game they lose now, Mick Cronin is embarrassing the university.
Okay, I'm going to come back to this. College players are now paid.
I'm going to give him one.
Do their job.
Tony, I give him one. I gave him two. I gave him 3 and 4.
What exactly are you giving him? Like, is a coach not allowed? I mean, you don't like coaches in general talking bad about their team. So you kind of have a bias about that entering this thing. Okay. Coach should certainly be able to call out their team. If the team is delusional, then guess what? Your team is delusional. Okay. And there should be nothing wrong with being able to say that. Is it the space to do it every time? No. But, I mean, sometimes you got to try to do whatever you got to do to get these guys going. Because, again, his job, not ours, is on the line if they aren't playing up to the level that the UCLA bosses think they should play. And in this case, I just don't think that his comments last year about them being delusional have any kind of merit in this particular conversation.
Well, I do when I think when you raise the stakes to grabbing your own player and throwing him out of the game. That's something I've never seen any coach do. Not even Bobby Knight.
I don't know that he grabbed him and threw him out of the game.
Bobby Knight literally had somebody by the shirt. I've seen it multiple times. There's like, come on,
in practice,
coaches do that.
Okay, but did they throw him out of the game?
No,
I've never seen a coach do that. I think that's something new. Anyway, all right. Well, I think Mick Cronin is going to continue with this behavior. And he's going to continue going on and on and on because I think he's above it all, and he's not going to be above it in my courtroom. I've kind of had enough of his act. If he draws you as the judge, then he's in good shape. He can continue.
Unfortunately for you, this isn't just your courtroom. This is actually both of our courtrooms. Yes. So therefore, I mean,
wait a minute. Does this mean that Scraby has to break the tie?
I think so.
Oh man, Chris is going to hate me. I feel like coaches these days are getting in trouble for trying to coach up their kids. And I'm not sure where this is going. I saw the Jerome Tang thing the other day. He called them out. He said they're not going to be here next year if they keep playing like this. I have zero issues with that. These players, this is their job. So if you do not want criticism, do not accept money. Because now you are a professional athlete.
Yeah, sports ain't for everybody. I mean, that's just what it is. Like, you got to have a thick skin. And for so long, we've been talking about coaches coddling the athletes. I've been hearing that for a very long time. And so now we got some coaches trying to turn it the other way, and they still getting beat down. Like, now you're too hard on them.
I will give this to Chris. Mick Cronin is a repeat offender, so I think maybe if this was a first incident, we would not be talking about it like this. But this is at least a fifth incident we've talked about with Mick Cronin. So I think it all piles on. Wow.
I can't. It's hard to make the comparison because I can't even see it happening. But if Brian Dutcher grabbed a player coming off the court and just pushed him toward the locker room and told an assistant coach to come over and get this kid off my bench, I'd be embarrassed as an Aztec. I can't even imagine it happening. So I feel kind of bad that I'm bringing that up as a comparison. But I think from far away, it's easy for us to see. And Mick Cronin has already established himself as no nonsense. So that's somehow okay. It's not.
What about the fact that the guy went back after the player and got in his face? Wasn't Mick Cronin like trying to get him out of there so nothing accelerated and became worse?
The Michigan State player got in the UCLA player's face. The UCLA player just stood there and didn't do anything.
I mean, what
was he supposed to do?
Walk away.
Oh, all right. Well.
Get taken by Mick Cronin and thrown away.
I mean, I just think if that dude broke his arm on the fall, he would have been warranted for anything at that point. And could have happened the way he fell. He could have got his leg caught under him. It was just a dangerous play. I do think Mick overreacted. I'm not. He definitely, I think, because of the circumstances, the crowd, all that, all led to him overreacting. But it was a dangerous play.
It was, Tony. But let me ask you and it was adjudicated that way as a flagrant foul.
I like that word.
All right. So that happened, and nobody's arguing that. But I want to say this: I've now played for Mick Cronin for 2 years, and he calls me out after every game I lose. And he says I'm delusional, and he says I don't understand the game, and he says I don't put enough effort in, and he says whatever else he says. What if I slow up and just let the guy go in for a layup, and then after the game I get chewed out because I wasn't playing hard?
That's when you say, well, you would have.
That hasn't been his argument.
Okay.
His argument has been, first of all, we're only taking the 3 times we've seen him on the clip, and we're combining it. This season's, they're 20-something games in. Are we to sit here and say he hasn't loved on those dudes? It's easy for us on the outside to point out the 3 incidents that we seen and say, oh, Mick Cronin, he's a bad cat. But we literally have only seen those 3 clips. We see nothing else. So I just feel like it's a little bit steep to go ahead and want to fire a guy because of the 3 incidents we saw when we don't know at all how the inner workings of that program work.
When I was in rehab, they taught me something. When someone when you point a finger at someone, point 10 back at yourself. And maybe some of these players need to think about things too. I don't know.
Maybe. I invite people to find Greg Doyle's article in the Indy Star. I'm not going to quote some of the other things that we haven't mentioned that are in that article. You may feel a little different
NBA
type of way.
scouts say he's mean.
Well, that's not the only thing they said.
Fans next.
Hey, it's Ben and Woods. We love Sandy.
All right, it's time for the Beaver Nuggets. So the story is somehow Buc-ee's got brought up. I think Frank brought it up.
Yes.
And it's a rest stop / mall / entertainment zone, super center. And someone said on the chat yesterday that they have 100. They went to one with 100 gas pumps, which is a lot, I guess. But while we were talking about this, Sam Levitt was in New York listening, and he goes, "Put me on, put me on, put me on." And so we put him on, and he's talking about how much he loves Buc-ee's. And so we got into the conversation, and it ended up being about the Beaver Nuggets. And so I had to order them because I find the name Beaver Nuggets very gross. I find it gross. But we're going to go with this. It's kind of like a Cheeto / a corn pop.
It's like a cheese doodle.
A cheese doodle. And we're going to eat them right now. I don't think these are bad, but here we go. I like it. It tastes like a corn pop.
I was going to say it tastes like a waffle, really.
It does kind of taste like a waffle. You know what? I'm in. These are good.
Yeah, I'm not.
You want another one?
No, I don't want another one. But yeah, I mean, it tastes like a waffle, like a waffle with syrup on it.
It's pretty good. I gotta say, I'm not hating these at all. Actually, they're very good. I like this. The waffle is a perfect explanation. If you've ever had, I'm sorry, I'm talking on the microphone with food in my mouth. But if you've ever had a what is it? A Lay's potato chip that's waffle flavor. It's kind of like that. Sad Fryer says, "Are they cheesy?" No, they're not cheesy at all. Actually, they're sweet.
No, it's like a hard waffle with syrup on it, with dried encrusted syrup on it.
Now I don't exactly know what the puff is. It could be just fake something.
Most likely. I mean,
it's like caramel a little bit too. All right, I gotta stop eating these because I will eat the whole bag. I love these things. I'm gonna leave them here though because I will eat this if I go home. It's just gonna be a bunch of beaver nuggets in my bed as I sleepwalk or something like that. All right, it's time for the beaver nuggets. So the story is somehow Buc-ee's got brought up. I think Frank brought it up.
Yes.
And it's a rest stop / mall / entertainment zone, super center. And someone said on the chat yesterday that they have like 100. They went to one with like 100 gas pumps, which is a lot, I guess. But while we were talking about this, Sam Levitt was in New York listening, and he goes, "Put me on, put me on, put me on." And so we put him on, and he's talking about how much he loves Buc-ee's. And so we got into the conversation, and it ended up being about the beaver nuggets. And so I had to order them because I find the name beaver nuggets very gross. I find it gross. But we're going to go with this. It's kind of like a Cheeto / a corn pop.
It's like a cheese doodle.
A cheese doodle. And we're going to eat them right now. I don't think these are bad, but here we go. I like it. It tastes like a corn pop.
I was going to say it tastes like a waffle, really.
It does kind of taste like a waffle. You know what? I'm in. These are good.
Yeah, I'm not.
You want another one?
No, I don't want another one. But yeah, I mean, it tastes like a waffle, like a waffle with syrup on it.
It's pretty good. I gotta say, I'm not hating these at all. Actually, they're very good. I like this. The waffle is a perfect explanation. If you've ever had, I'm sorry, I'm talking on the microphone with food in my mouth. But if you've ever had a what is it? A Lay's potato chip that's waffle flavor. It's kind of like that. Sad Fryer says, "Are they cheesy?" No, they're not cheesy at all. Actually, they're sweet.
No, it's like a hard waffle with syrup on it, with dried encrusted syrup on it.
Now I don't exactly know what the puff is. It could be just fake something.
Most likely. I mean,
it's like caramel a little bit too. All right, I gotta stop eating these because I will eat the whole bag. I love these things. I'm gonna leave them here though because I will eat this if I go home. It's just gonna be a bunch of beaver nuggets in my bed as I sleepwalk or something like that. All right, it's time for the beaver nuggets. So the story is somehow Buc-ee's got brought up. I think Frank brought it up.
Yes,
and it's a rest stop.
26. I think it's a day you should circle forever, Scraby. It's the day that the Gwynn and Chris show went to the bizarro world. After all, remember what we talked about. The success of this show depends on a dick, a deer, and a dork. I've always been the mean one. Tony's always been the nice one. Scraby, sorry, but you're the dork. Today,
I badge with pride.
You're right. Today, I'm the softy. I'm the, hey, look out for the feelings of these players and these media people. I'm the softy. Tony Gwynn a little more hardcore, saying, hey, wear it if it's deserved.
He tried to make that nicer. Really, I'm the dick now. And
today you were.
Well, you didn't say that. You said I'm harder. You said it was
I mentioned that I said that the dick and the deer, we were bizarro world today. So I was the deer, you were the deer. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I don't want to call you that, Tony, because I have too much respect for you. I don't mind calling myself that, but I hold off on that.
I appreciate that.
I know this.
By the way, I've never actually called you Richard.
Right.
Before,
that's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right. I've called myself that. Scraby's seconded it many times.
And I'm not trying to.
You're surprised by my angle.
I'm very surprised by your angle because and I know this isn't completely the same at all.
Right.
But when we talked about Bobby Knight dying, and I said, why do we celebrate a guy who's known as not that great of a guy?
Right.
You guys highlighted all of his hilarious things that he did, throwing basketballs around and chairs around. That is way worse than what Mick Cronin did to me, in my opinion.
But yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm just kind of tired of the whole Mick Cronin thing.
That's where it comes from.
I think if it was a one-time thing last night when I first saw it, I didn't really overreact to it. But the more I thought about it, I didn't care for it. I shouldn't be sticking up for journalists, but I didn't think the kid there, and his voice did go up an octave when he went to defend himself. And then I think Nick Cronin, was unfair at getting on that a little bit. Anyway.
Well, let me clarify something, because, I went back and read it just to make sure it was right. You were right. The original question came from somebody else. The other reporter who was besides him tried to kind of follow up.
Yeah.
And that's when Cronin went right back to my man and said, "Are you kidding me? You think that I care about him?" And so the voice you hear at that point raising isn't the guy who asked the original question. It was the second guy who was almost trying to defend him, defend the first guy. But either way, I mean, listen, there's no doubt that Mick was frustrated. The loss in itself probably had him on edge. And, although the question was about a guy on UCLA, it really had no bearing on the game, which is why I think he was like, what do you say? A rat's ass? Is that what he used?
Yes. I actually laughed when I saw this, because I have been the guy to ask a question that I think is a really great question, but it turns on me. And it makes you feel like I wanted to just disappear.
I will say, when I saw the play and I saw Mick Cronin's reaction, I immediately didn't feel good about how it was going down. I understood his irritation on the foul, but I didn't understand him reacting the way he did. Even if he wanted to kick him out of the thing, he could have done it in a way that wasn't as demonstrative, that wouldn't have maybe caused the kind of, spectacle that we see now. But after that, in terms of the reporter, I just think, listen, man, we want real time. And this goes back to the whole Richard Sherman thing. You want real time. And he won in his particular case. He made the play, and he was still like that. So I can only imagine you stick a mic, even a coach's face right after a game like that, you're going to get some responses. This isn't the first response we've heard, not just from Mick Cronin, but from any coach kind of being bristly about a question they felt they deemed not a good one.
Let me ask this, and I don't know, Chris versus the fans may have to take a backseat today, because
it's a very important conversation.
It's a good thing we didn't start talking about Mick Cronin at 2 o'clock.
Well, 2 o'clock, because we never got the Padres.
Do you guys realize we only got through one topic?
Yeah, right. We never even got to the other support court. But let me ask you this: if you were in charge of UCLA, the athletic director, or what, Mick Cronin's boss, I know you would not fire him. I probably would not fire him either. I think the Kansas State people overreacted as well. But I think an apology to that player, and a public one at that, and just admitting that there was a better way to handle that situation, I think is warranted here. Now, I don't know that Mick Cronin would go for it. I don't know. But I would suggest that.
And that's where I think kind of we got to, if it were me, to answer your question, if it were me, I would probably talk to Mick about, kind of, I don't necessarily need him to make him a public apology, but I need him to talk to that kid. And I can't think, just knowing coaches and having been around them all, I can't see a situation in which he's not already had that conversation with the young man. Now, whether there was an apology or not, I can't say, but I feel pretty confident that at least there was a conversation where him explaining where he was coming from. But certainly if you're an AD in today's day and age, and this thing is a viral clip, a conversation is probably coming regardless, is my guess.
He is one step away from taking a turn into villainhood for good.
UCLA is not want to be mentioned around all of this controversy, do they? Like after almost every game they lose?
No. This is
got to be getting a little old for them.
The home of John Wooden,
there's a little history there.
Would Coach K, I heard he was an angry guy.
I see him so red that it looked like he could have been a stop sign.
He basically would MF the referee if he didn't get.
Whoa.
I can't say M and F together.
No. Monday Night Football, you can.
M&F. He said.
Yeah, you can't.
Can't say those 2 letters.
No, you
Male,
cannot.
female. I can't say that.
You can't because everybody knows what you're talking about. Hey, we got young kids in the car.
Yes, we do. Now, Krzyzewski would get on the refs if the opening tap was thrown a little, off center. He was on it quick. All right. Well,
I mean, real quick. I mean, just to kind of to your point, they're 17-9 overall. They're 9-6 in the conference. They're 14-1 at home, and they're 3-5 on the road. They are still going to be able to be a team that is making some noise. They're in the Big Ten, right? I keep forgetting, right? Big Ten.
I know. It's just hard.
They're in the Big Ten, which is probably going to get. How many teams are they going to get in? Jeez,
yeah. UCLA is a bubble right now, but they're on the good side of the bubble.
Unlike us.
So yeah, we're kind of we fell to the wrong side last night. I don't know. I did notice that this was a fun stat I saw today that all of the West Coast teams combined, UCLA, SC, Oregon, and Washington, are a total of 6-19 on the road this year in conference. So
that's all that
what
traveling.
you get.
Yeah,
that's what you get. I can't imagine I can't imagine Cal and Stanford are doing a whole lot better on the road in the ACC either. So
that's what y'all get.
That's part of it, I think. We'll see now. Mick Cronin, I will say this. They're playing, I think, home to Illinois Saturday. First of all, Illinois is top 10, so you got a tough game right there. People are going to judge how they play in that game, and they're going to make a connection to what happened last night, whether fair or not. There
are going to be a bunch of eyeballs on it,
right?
No doubt.
Yeah.
Illinois at home,
Saturday.
Yeah,
I believe
Saturday, 5 p.m.
Yeah. So if Illinois wins by 20, he's going to have to answer those questions. I'm sure. I'm sure he'll be pleasant in his response.
I don't think Mick Cronin, he shouldn't get off the hook for not examining himself, because he is pointing a lot of fingers at a lot of different people.
But hold up. See, this is where we get caught up in recency bias. I know if we pull up the clips, there was a few times he blamed himself and the staff for not getting those kids ready. So, like, recency bias has this right in the front of our faces, so it feels like, oh, this is all this cat does is point the finger elsewhere. I don't think that's true. I take you back. Listen, I take you back to, I don't know if you guys remember, he was the head coach at, was it Cincinnati or Xavier? I think it was Cincinnati. I don't know if you guys remember that huge brawl that took place between them and Xavier. And his guys were the ones that did a lot of the bad work. I remember him coming in there visibly upset that his team was the one kind of leading the way in the fisticuffs. And in that article, I think Doyle makes reference to it about him kind of reaching out and saying, "Hey, man, I appreciate you standing up for decency." And so it's not like he's can't be a decent person. I think he's been caught a couple times where he's been a little hot under the collar, and it feels like that's all we get from him. But I don't necessarily believe that.
I think both things are true. I think Mick Cronin is as far from middle ground as you can be.
Yeah.
He seems like a really terrific guy a lot of the time, including when he brought the Bruins down here to play the Aztecs earlier this season and spoke highly of everything and was willing to bring his team in a tough place and play a game. And, most
both things can be true. You're right.
So,
you're right.
But I think he's losing his cool on the other side. And then some of that's got to be reined in.
I wanted to talk about Doug Gottlieb at some point.
Poor Doug. Well, good old Doug Gottlieb. Well, we could talk about him in the next segment. I mean,
that would be. Yes, let's do it. Sorry, everyone. We're skipping Chris versus the fans today.
Go to traffic instead.
I feel so weird about saying that, but it's done. We're moving on.
From the 855 Kent Ross Traffic Center. Injured, demand justice.
4:18 on the clock. Tony Gwynn Jr., Chris Ello, Matt Scraby, a spirited Gwynn and Chris here on this hump day. And
congratulations, Mick Cronin, one of the longest segments we've ever had on one topic. Mick Cronin's going on the fourth segment in a row. God. Come on.
It's been that kind of show today.
Yeah.
Coming up here on a Big Five shortly, Scraby has basically taken away a few of our talking points in order to get his Big Five in. But
thank you.
We're going to do our best here to kind of keep things moving. Gosh, where do you guys want to go? I mean, we can go back to the Padres.
We need to talk about Doug Gottlieb.
He wants to get Doug Gottlieb in since we're on crazy college coaches right now.
All right.
Yeah, we are in the crazy college coach corner. So we're going to go with this. Now, Doug Gottlieb is the head coach of Green Bay. I believe they're the Phoenix.
They are.
And I believe he took some time away. He has stepped away from radio.
No.
And been a full-time coach here recently.
Not true.
Really?
Still doing the show, according to his brother Greg.
Really?
Yeah. His brother's an assistant on the women's team.
Yeah, I know his brother is in town.
I saw the story. Came out that he was stepping away from it, but wow, I guess he's still doing
Greg
it.
says he's still doing it, but maybe that's changed since the last time I asked him. I know that Doug is having a much better year.
He is.
This year. Last year they really struggled, and this year they've done quite well. So
he after the game over the weekend, I guess there was a technical foul called on him that ended up allowing the other team to score, and his team lost, which was a big game for them. So he goes into the media press room, and this is how he starts. Now, I can't show the video, but you can hear what he probably looks like, and then I'll cut it after a certain point.
You can hear what he looks like.
Oh, yeah.
I did not curse. I was not demonstrative. I did not leave my box. All I said was, that's the same play as the other end. Okay? All we ask is that there's a fair game. That's what we ask. Okay? CJ O'Hara goes and gets an offensive rebound. Their player dives at his legs. CJ gets called for a foul. I need Donnie at the league and the new commissioner to explain to me the disparity in the officiating. That's what I need explained to me. I got no problem with their team, their staff. They played hard. They did what they do. They play tough and they play aggressive. I need somebody to explain to me, okay, how just those two. There's others that I have massive issues with, okay? Others that have mesh, including every time we touched them, there was a foul in the second half. The last play of the game, just to get the ball, they're grabbing us and holding us. Okay, and I understand. If you're not calling that, that's fine. You had the exact same play at both ends in the last play of the game. The exact same play.
He was banging on the
exact same play.
Okay, you get the gist of what's going on over there.
The only thing you couldn't see if you didn't see it was that he banged on the table. The mic fell over.
Everything fell over.
But he was nice enough to pick the mic back up and reset it there so everybody could hear what else he had to say. I thought that kind of showed his media savvy there.
Yes, it did show his media savvy.
Right.
Now, where are you? Do I dare ask? Where are you at with this one, Chris?
Well, I'm sure he's at the same play. He got a 1-game suspension.
He did. So that's what I really want to ask you guys. Does the punishment fit the crime?
It does, but I think every now and again, and as an official, I get it. I get the how you go crazy sometimes with some of the calls.
Yeah.
So I get it. I have no trouble with this. He's not the first ref who thought that the officiating was horrid. And, he thought that there should have been a foul there at the end of the game and would have put his team on the line to, maybe win the game. I mean, Dutcher had every right and did get pretty angry at that game in Grand Canyon. He didn't bring it to the press room with him, but Doug did. So I don't have an issue with this. I would love in a perfect world, and I say this on my Aztec women's games broadcast, in a perfect world, I would love to never even talk about the officiating. I just want to enjoy the game, and I want to let the refs do their thing. But Tony, every now and again, I'm doing a game, and I'll find myself the whole second quarter whining about the officiating because I can't help it. It is part of basketball. Sometimes it takes over. So it got him on that one.
It definitely did. Yeah. Tony, do you think the punishment fits the crime here?
Yeah. I mean, he lost it. I mean, I think it's funny. We've this is Doug. We've talked about Mick. We've talked about Dutch, and I think you're talking about different generations. Dutch is 12 years older than Mick. I'm not sure where Gottlieb is. He's probably just under 54, which is what Mick Cronin is. And so there's a generational type of gap in terms of how they handle it, right? I mean, Dutchers comes from, I don't know if I ever saw Steve Fisher mad ever. Like, I mean, I'm sure he was, but I don't know that I ever I don't know that I ever saw it after the last second went off the clock.
You're right. He controlled
and
it.
That's how Dutch handles himself. And so I think it's a lot about who you have kind of who you've had to kind of mentor you and watch you kind of take on some of those qualities. But I think it's warranted. I mean, I appreciated his passion at that. You could tell that last pound that knocked the mic down. He was fully
Tony,
immersed in his
it goes
frustration.
on for another 2 minutes after that.
Yeah. But you could hear it because he reset the microphone up. Very nice of him.
Sure did.
I think he knew he'd get a 1-game suspension. I don't think he even, I don't think he's even surprised. So
I think to Chris's point, I mean, sometimes you do this as much for your team as you do for anything else. I mean, I'm sure his team felt like there were some calls that weren't going their way. They walk out of that city knowing, oh, Coach Gottlieb, we got her back on this one.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know that he even did it intentionally, but I think it was one of those deals that just went that way. He was, I kind of got a kick out of it, really.
See, that's so funny to me. That is so
why?
Because it doesn't compute in my brain. It's like,
why?
You were
Because
so
Mick
mad
Cronin-
at Mick Cronin for a question by a random guy.
No, I'm not. I'm mad at the way he treated another human being. I don't care for that.
Yeah,
I like treating people with a little respect. Doug Gottlieb's just yelling out into the ether. That's a different deal to me. He's just blowing off steam.
The Horizon League needs to thank him for all the press that they got, because no one knows who the Horizon League is.
I think they're different. I think they're different situations.
Do you think it's also because Doug Gottlieb isn't a mean guy?
I don't know that he's not a mean guy. I've
mean,
listened to him
brother.
I know his brother. I don't know Doug. I've listened to him on the radio, and sometimes he said things I liked, and he said a lot of things I didn't like. And no, this has nothing to do with that.
Okay.
I think every coach has a right to let some steam off about the officiating, and if they go overboard, they get a suspension, and that's warranted.
I do love a good
happy
coach
Scraby.
meltdown.
We got to talk about your Gottlieb
Thank you.
stories that you've been pestering us about for the last 2.5 hours.
Thank you.
Yeah, almost 2.5 hours.
You know what? We may have to come back and take away the Chronicles and just continue the Mick Cronin conversation until
it's fine with me.
The cows come home tonight.
It's fine with me.
The big five is going to be Mick Cronin, number 5, UCLA basketball, number 4. The kid on UCLA got thrown out of the game, number 3. The reporter, number 2.
Who's number 1? You're doing a good job with this.
Just the whole
shebang
in general, yeah.
Hey, Scrape, you might have some reprieve coming out of Seattle, man. It's like they might be trying to sell that Seahawk team.
Why would that be reprieve?
Well, they might not get a good owner, and then they don't have to win Super Bowls over your squad anymore, like they did this year.
I just feel like the Seahawks are always going to be good.
Good.
You think?
I feel the same way.
Have they always been good?
For
How
a
many
while
great
they were
years have they
terrible,
had?
but in the last like 15, 20 years, they've been pretty good.
All right.
Wouldn't you? I mean, they've been to 2 Super Bowls, 3 Super Bowls now. 1, 2 of them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, let's move on.
Let's go ahead and slide away to break. Scrape's got his big 5 full of great stories and conversation on the other side.
Ben and Woods on the
at least for now. Might revisit it later. Never know. Scraby's got the big five. Gwynn and Chris, Crisello, Tony Gwynn Jr., Scraby. And it is 97.3 The Fan. And we didn't do the Chris versus the Fans today, so hopefully we'll be able to give away a couple prizes tomorrow. We'll figure that out. We'll make sure you get what you deserve out there. And we also will still give you a chance today to get a 4-pack of tickets to a Padres spring training game at the Peoria Sports Complex and qualify you for a shot at the grand prize, which is 4 tickets to Padres Giants on April 1st at Petco Park. Scraby will handle that. Stick around. You will have a chance to win those tickets here in just a little bit.
I want to bring up something real quick.
Please.
My daily gripe last night was one of aggressive Prius drivers.
Just Prius?
Yes. I'm not going to do the other electric cars, but it drives me insane when someone who claims that they're trying to save the environment drives 100 miles an hour and recklessly, and it's always Prius drivers. And I used to be a Prius driver.
You think it's always Prius drivers?
I mean, it's a lot of Tesla drivers as well, but I was talking.
I was about to throw the Tesla folks in there because I know I've seen them.
Yeah, they're. We don't even need to speak about them. Everybody understands that Tesla drivers are the worst. But I just offended a lot of people out there,
including your co-host there, Mr. Gwynn.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Well, certain Tesla drivers are okay, but I feel like the Tesla power is not good for everyone because they try to pull off things on the freeway that you can't or shouldn't pull off. So I don't know if you guys have the same aggressive Prius driver gripe, but Chris.
I just I don't know. These cars go by me so fast. My car's spinning around. I don't know what car it was.
Well, that's because
I'm like in a Bugs Bunny cartoon, man. And the car just, I can't deal with these people.
Chris has got Barry Manilow on.
Yeah, just trying to enjoy a song, and I don't go 45. That's just a total misnomer that I don't really like.
He does not like it when I
don't like that. No, I don't like you doing that. I go, look, my wife gets on my case for reckless driving from time to time. So I just want you to know I'm not a slow lane guy with my blinker on to go around the world.
Okay. All right. Struck another nerve.
Yeah, that's a nerve.
Struck another nerve.
I don't like you pushing me toward the grave earlier than I have to be.
I'm not. What?
Well, you're trying to make it sound like I'm this old decrepit driver.
Well, you said everybody just speeds by
can't even get the car into second. When they're going 110 miles an hour, yes, they are speeding by me. That is true.
All right, I think it's time for the big five after that.
Hurry.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured, demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com. Here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by Rivermark Medical. Speed's getting back to normal southbound 5, an accident clear just past 28th Street. Still seeing a little residual slowing on the Coronado Bridge. Eastbound 54 before Woodman, we have reports of a stalled vehicle. It's been pushed into the center divide and looks like a crash has cleared on southbound 805 before Balboa. In the East County, eastbound 8 before 2nd Street. Collision involving a couple vehicles there over to the right shoulder. And collision has cleared northbound 15 near Rainbow Valley. Watch out for a little residual slowing there. Rivermark Medical is conducting a rapid 3 study for Flowcent, a minimally invasive device designed to relieve symptoms from BPH. Men 45 or older suffering from frequent, painful, or difficulty urinating may qualify. Learn more at rivermarkmedical.com. That's rivermarkmedical.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It's that time of the show when we check on the latest in sports. Only the most important topics and questions are brought to light.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
These news stories will astound and amaze you. The one, the only.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
The Big Five starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
I think I need to change the channel in studio. Nate Oates is on TV, which is another one of favorite Chris's favorites.
Well, I was just going to comment that the coach on the other side for the Sauce is John Calipari, and it is definitely a new world when John Calipari is the sympathetic figure up there of the two coaches.
That is a weird place.
Yeah, Calipari is now the voice of reason compared to Nate Oates.
That is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Number 5.
All right. By the way, Nate on the chat says I have an e-bike. I definitely do not have an e-bike. Okay, I'm not ever going to get an e-bike. Clinton said, thanks, Scrapes. I'm not sure if that was agreement on the Prius or he's mad that I just insulted Prius people. So I'm sure I'll see those messages a little bit later. But keep in mind, I did drive a Prius for like 3 years.
Not 120 miles an hour.
No, mine couldn't make it that fast, Chris. All right, let's get into it. I think I've already hit number 5. Here we go. Apparently, the Athletics' Jason Stark put out a poll to MLB executives, and one of the questions was the best subtraction from a team this season. Nick Castellanos led the way with 6 votes. Here's the thing. This vote happened before the release by the Phillies was made public, so this was voted on before. Chris, why is Nick Castellanos so polarizing?
Well, the beer story is not helping him, although it doesn't affect me too much. I think the fact that we've touched on this. When you ask Nick Castellanos a question, you're going to have to work to get an answer. And that, a lot of times, is his quirkiness, which I think a lot of writers take as rudeness toward them, not making their job easy. So they're happy to see him go. I still have not heard one thing that makes me understand why he would be any kind of detriment to the Phillies clubhouse. Not one. I've heard a lot of weird answers. I called him the kook yesterday, but I did so lovingly. It was kind of a lovingly thing. I mean, he just kind of off kilter. That's all. I don't have a problem with that, but we'll find out, I guess. But yeah.
Tony, why is Nick Castellanos so polarizing?
I don't know. It just seems like this one situation has taken on a life of its own for whatever reason. Maybe it's because he was in Philly as well. But I don't think Nick has changed much since he's been in the league. He's been the same guy. I don't know. I don't have a good answer for why this is lingering the way it has. Because you see people in Philly say how good he was in the clubhouse. So, like, you know, this is one of those narrative things because we saw or we read about the beer incident. It just seems like it's taken on a life of its own.
Because when, what was it, AC asked him yesterday or 2 days ago, talk about the fact that this is a fresh start for you. And he said, well, it's a fresh start.
I do love that.
And AC was like, okay. And he goes,
okay.
That's what he gave him.
He asked and answered.
Yeah. And so I not AC, but I'm saying other writers may feel some type of way about that. So they talk negatively. I don't know, because I need to see something for myself, and I don't have anything on my radar yet.
All right.
Number 4.
Back when the Michigan Wolverines blew out the Aztecs, we had no idea the Michigan Wolverines were going to blow out everyone. The Wolverines are 25-1 on the year, and they're putting up video game-like numbers this season. They have 7 40-point wins. They have 10 30-point wins. They have 14 20-point wins, and they have 21 total double-digit wins. So their average outcome of their games is 22-point win for Michigan. They have 6 ranked wins by a 21-point average. So all of these things are said that some are saying that this, in this day and age of college basketball, they may be having the best regular season ever. Tony, agree or disagree?
Well, they got a loss on their record, if I'm not mistaken, right?
They do, 25-1.
They can't be the best regular season. Best regular season went undefeated. So, like, I mean,
well, there's been a few of them do that too. Kentucky did it 10 years ago and lost in the tournament, but
that's right. I think Indiana was the team before that, right?
Indiana's the only one in the last, 1976 took it all away. UCLA did it before them about 5 times, but that's way back when. Before
I
Mick
just
Cronin.
think that if you're going to get the title of best regular season ever, it needs to end with a 0. You can't have one loss regardless of how much you smoked everybody else by. You got one blemish.
We don't even know that Michigan's going to. We don't even know that Michigan's going to finish number 1. They are right now. They play Duke on Saturday. That could be the end of their number 1. I do think Michigan's awfully good. Everything I've seen leads me to believe that. But college basketball is just way too crazy right now for me to crown anybody like that.
You want to crown them? Crown them.
Michigan lost to Wisconsin at home. No, that's Wisconsin's good, but they weren't ranked that day, and they beat them. So there you go.
All right.
Number 3.
We're going to get serious here because this is a bad story. But an ex-girlfriend of Kansas City Chiefs receiver Rashee Rice has filed a civil lawsuit in Texas alleging he repeatedly assaulted her during an 18-month span from 2023 to 2025. Dakota Jones, who said she was pregnant during many of the alleged assaults, is seeking more than $1 million. She alleged that Rice strangled her in December 2023 and exhibited a history of abusive behavior through the relationship in both Texas and Missouri until July 2025. Her lawyer said this, quote, Rice has grabbed, choked, strangled, pushed, thrown, scratched, hit, and headbutted Ms. Jones, as well as hit her with inanimate objects, end quote. So, the Chiefs have said that they are aware of this situation. They're following it. So, Chris, if you're the Chiefs, what are you doing after, taking everything into account, the suspension last year, now this, what do you do if you're the Chiefs?
He was off my team 5 years ago, my team. That doesn't mean I don't believe he should play, and have a chance and a second chance. But I'm not a fan of this guy and just his way he goes about things. And I think, I've always felt the driving crazy and inciting a crash where other people get badly injured or even die is a transgression that I have a lot of trouble, forgiving. So he wouldn't be part of my club. I'd be more than happy to let him go play over another club. I don't know how much longer, the Chiefs can do this and look at themselves in the mirror. I understand that everybody's innocent until proven guilty, but if it looks like a duck and walks and talks like a duck, most of the times it's a duck.
It's a goose.
Yeah, Rashee Rice is in trouble all the time. I just don't need that.
Tony, what do you do if you're the Chiefs?
This is what I would like moving forward, is not to be asked these stupid ass questions about what we would do in these situations. We get asked this question too often, but I'm going to answer it this time.
Wait, what question do you want to ask?
I don't want to be asked about what I would do with Ray Rice.
Rashee,
I'm getting Ray in trouble again. Rashee Rice with just outside information in terms of Chris is right. He's been in trouble a lot, and the Chiefs would be more than within their right to move on and let somebody else do it. But this is a civil case. It's not, police aren't involved in this. He's not going to jail for hitting her, for hitting this young lady. And it's just it's answering what we should do.
It's a speculative question is what I think you're trying to say, right, Tony? Because we don't know everything, unfortunately.
Right. I don't like the speculative part, but for the sake of this particular question, I would say at this point I'm probably moving on because of the things Chris kind of mentioned. This isn't like his first run-in, and as a championship organization, I would guess that this is probably not helpful.
This was the question itself was something that we talked about a long time ago, because I used to ask, what do you think the Chiefs are going to do? And you guys kept saying, no idea what the Chiefs are going to do. And so then I asked, what are you guys going to do? Because it got an opinion out there. That's the only reason I asked it. It's not
I know you're not doing it to trap us. I know that. But I'm just saying, we don't have, in order to speak on this, with some type of education behind it, we need to know more info, and just the things you listed off in this civil issue. That's true.
Because we could just. Guys, sorry, Tony. I didn't mean to.
It just makes it. It just makes it tough to answer that question when we don't know all of the facts.
We could conceivably, right, in 2 weeks, find out that his girlfriend is just an absolute.
Mess.
Right? A total mess and liar. Just what do you call it? Somebody's just a repeat liar.
Pathological
liar, habitual liar. Maybe she
okay.
just lies and makes all this stuff up, and that gets proven to us, and now we just buried Rashee Rice, and the whole thing is not even fair.
I understand.
So that's part of what needs to be said.
I understand all of these opinions.
Okay. Number 2.
The 2026 NFL season will see the 49ers travel a lot. And internationally.
Who's the coach of the 40?
They get to get away from their freaking their practice facility.
Oh, they don't want to be near
trying
the
to keep 'em
electrical
safer.
substation.
Yeah, don't be going that way, Mr. Shire the
Shire the crier.
And your organization accepted this, so they got no excuses.
They did, but the 49ers are going to play regular season game in Mexico City, and they're going to play a game in Australia against the Rams next year. This makes the 49ers the first NFL team to play international games on 2 different continents. In addition to that global travel, they have to go to the East Coast for the Falcons and the Giants, and it's estimated that they're going to fly 38,000 round-trip miles, surpassing the record set by the Chargers and the Rams
I already hear an
last
excuse,
year.
don't you, Tony? Next about mid-season when they're 4-6.
I'm trying to stay away.
They're going to
I'm trying to
Australia.
stay away from being biased. My question is this too much travel?
You
Tony?
can't possibly stay away from being biased.
It's not too much travel.
I guarantee you, if this was
Seattle-
another team, you guys would be like, it's too much travel.
The Seattle Mariners travel way more than what the 49ers are.
Yeah.
On
West
a
Coast
yearly
teams have it
basis.
tougher.
That's not true.
West Coast teams have it tougher, which is the
The
49ers
Seahawks
are one.
aren't going to be traveling to Australia.
I didn't say Seattle Seahawks. I said the Mariners.
Oh, sorry. I went to
so
Seahawk
teams-
brain.
Teams travel a lot further without going to 2 different continents.
Yeah, I'll give you that. The baseball team travels way more than anybody else because they
so
fly
I think-
way more.
I think they'll be okay. I really do.
All right. I don't need Chris's opinion.
Yes, you do. Number 1. I'm going to give it to you anyway.
Yes. Is this too much travel?
Well, of course it is. And I think, first of all, it eliminates the 49ers from any consideration next year. And I hope that the result is they finish last. Secondly, I don't want to hear any complaining about the fact that any of the guys who live in the San Francisco metropolitan area for at least 2 games will have a much shorter trip to the airplane than they would to have to drive all the way down 50 miles to Santa Clara, where you hate the fact their home field is.
Mostly they live in Santa Clara and the surrounding
Do they?
area.
I don't know.
Yeah. George Kittle and Fred Warner live in the area.
All right.
Yeah. No one's going to be stupid enough to buy a house in San Francisco and drive the 35 miles
Santa
each
Clara.
day to Santa Clara.
What's wrong with that? I mean, that sometimes you need to decompress. After
You do.
The game. It's a
You
nice
do. You'll take
long ride.
You'll go one day in that 101 traffic going north or south, and you would be done.
I'm good.
Done. It is one of the worst stretches of freeway in the country, I would have to say.
I don't know. I don't know. There's a few spots in Los Angeles that are just
no, there is
god awful.
Yeah. There
like
is.
I could get out and ghost ride my car. That's how bad the traffic is.
Yes. When the person walking for gas on the side of the freeway is beating you to the next exit.
Yeah.
That's a little frustrating.
Sir, can I get a ride?
Yeah.
Number 1.
All right. Very, 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 very serious topic came to my email earlier today.
I bet.
There was a lawsuit against Buffalo Wild Wings saying that the
I thought you were serious.
No, I wasn't. I'm just going to read it. A federal judge dismissed the lawsuit against Buffalo Wild Wings by ruling that the marketing of quote-unquote boneless wings does not constitute a deceptive act under the Illinois Consumer Fraud and Deceptive Business Practices Act. Wow, it's a long act. The judge characterized the legal complaint, get this, Chris, you're going to love this, as having, quote, no meat on its bones.
Judges have a sense of humor sometimes.
Judge John Tharp Jr. noted that reasonable customers are not misled by the name, pointing out that the restaurant's cauliflower wings are also listed in the wing section without causing confusion, although I do have a major issue with cauliflower wings being called boneless wings or listed
So
in
if
the
you say
wing
boneless
section.
wings, people are, what are they mad about? That there should be bones in them?
Well, someone
Or
sued.
that should be in the form of a wing.
It's false advertising. Because it's not actual wing meat. It's other meat. So it's not like.
Do you understand why this
is it chicken? It's chicken though, right?
I'm gonna have to go back and look.
Oh, see, I told you, you boneless wing people are frauds out there. You're not even eating real chicken.
Buffalo wings are not made of buffalo at all, right? They were invented in Buffalo,
correct, Chris.
but they're not made of buffalo.
No.
Does anybody know? I mean, there's a lot of reasons why, but this is at the crux of why our problem of our country has so many issues.
Yes.
Stuff like this.
What's wrong with it?
You're suing somebody.
suing because the chicken may not be chicken.
There's actually somebody who has a real lawsuit that's waiting in line behind this person.
He's sued for roughly $10 million.
Is there?
And he tried to get 10 mil too.
You know what? I'll be honest with you, and I would try to promote this too, Tony. If I was a judge, I'd not only throw it out of court, but I would charge him for my time and the court reporter's time and the bailiff's time and, whoever from Buffalo Wild Wings had to go down there.
Can you put someone in contempt for bringing a bad case to the court?
I mean, to me, that's the only way you're going to send a message to people to stop filing stupid cases, or you're going to have to pay the price.
This is legitimately from the case filing. The guy said he's arguing that, quote, the buffalo wing more akin in composition to a chicken nugget rather than a chicken wing. That is in the lawsuit.
Wow.
Yes, and I'm also going to disbar the lawyer who brought this case.
Right.
Both things.
Who said? Yeah. Who said? Yeah, we might be able to make this work.
Oh, they are Johnny, not Johnny Cochran. What was the guy in Seinfeld? Remember, he played kind of a Johnny Cochran type lawyer.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm talking
I don't know
about.
His name? No, I seen a couple episodes with him in it.
Where they get the lawyer in there and he goes.
He had the mustache.
Yeah, he's trying to win the case for for Kramer or somebody, but it's basically a money grab.
Now, Buffalo Wild Wings did say this, and they make a really good argument. They said it's true. Our boneless wings are all white meat chicken. Our hamburgers contain no ham. Our buffalo wings are 0% buffalo.
Jackie Childs was the lawyer in Seinfeld. Jackie Childs.
So you guys are both throwing this out?
Yeah, quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
this was filed in 2023, Chris.
We probably
I'm even throwing it out, but then I'm filing my own case against the people who brought it to me.
I'm ruling that you're gonna pay for the prosecution's
everybody's time and money,
and you're gonna pay for my time,
pain and suffering for putting up with you idiots.
Oh my gosh.
That would be in the written statement to you idiots.
That would be in the next to the there's not enough meat on its bones comment by the judge.
5 o'clock hour includes the ratings of the Padres off season. You're not going to be happy with them.
Hey, it's
Happy hour is here. The group of three is down to two. Tony Gwynn Jr., Matt Scraby now with the big face squares. I need to back my computer up.
The big face squares.
Face was filling up the whole thing.
It does get a little crazy there for a second.
I'm live from Narnia, and Mr. Scraby's at the Bill House Studios there, living it up. Solo Bolo. Scraby Chronicles. Scraby Chronicles coming up at the end of the hour. Scrabe, a lot of things going on, a lot of news today. You know, I've never wanted to knock a lot of news because we certainly have had our shares of days where there's been nothing.
Yes.
So, but you saw something that just came down, right? MLBPA.
Yeah, so this whole thing we haven't really talked about because, quite honestly, I am confused as to what happened with this whole thing. Tony Clark had to step down, but Jeff Passan just released a tweet saying that they selected a new leader. Breaking: Bruce Meyer has been unanimously elected as executive director of the Major League Baseball Players Association. He was previously the number 2 at the union, and he becomes the sixth executive director in the union's history. So he's going to take over.
Go
ahead.
Not a surprise. This was inevitable. For those who don't know, Tony Clark stepped down yesterday. Really, you know what the interesting thing about this story, Scrape, is maybe probably about 3 weeks ago, a month ago, it came down that there was a federal investigation into some wrongdoing from the MLBPA and their partner. I think, gosh,
it's called like one something. Let me look it up.
It's basically it was basically supposed to be a place where they kind of were able to grow the game of baseball through the youth. As it turns out, there was a lot of money spent and not a lot done, and so an investigation was opened up. And that's
partners.
That is the big deal, right? Because that's a federal. It's illegal to spend funds on those kind of funds on things that have nothing to do with the Team One kind of concept, and that is what is being alleged, which is a big deal.
Yes,
but it just goes to show you where we're at in our site. The focus in every article that I've read, it's been a mention, but the focus of every article that has been out has it been about alleged inappropriate behavior between Tony Clark and his, I believe, his sister-in-law.
Yes, sister-in-law.
And the to me, as if true, the moral compass of that is clearly not what it's supposed to be. But in terms of his job, it doesn't really have anything to do with it. But the focus isn't been on the case that could be sending him to jail. The focus has been on the inappropriate behavior. Now, we don't know what that inappropriate behavior that wasn't really reported. It was just kind of alleged that an internal investigation led to that kind of outcome, and so he stepped down. It's just been kind of a little bit incredible to me. Not incredible. It's just been a little bit kind of upside down that the focus has been on about the non-legal issue.
Yeah, the actual issue.
Right.
Like you said, put aside the morality of everything, and we can all, think our thoughts about what happened there. But if he allegedly, and if he does have this whole thing, this legal problem on the other side, that's so much bigger because it's corruption. I mean, we're seeing corruption everywhere. NFLPA just had corruption where the guy who was leading it started using money at strip clubs to buy lunches and things like that. And that's how he got found out.
And by the way, those entities are all kind of connected to this one team.
Let me read. One Team Partners is a group licensing arm established by the MLBPA and NFLPA. Recently, federal investigators have begun investigating One Team for potential financial misconduct related to its operations, particularly the MLBPA. So the investigation has raised concerns about self-dealing and misuse of resources within the organization.
So the Myers, I guess, hiring is not a surprise. I talked to a lot of guys who are in the know from the union, and this was the expected move, although it was not expected. And this is the other thing. It sounds like they didn't kind of have noticed that this was going to be happening, that Tony was going to step down until about 48 hours before. So it wasn't as though this was like an internal thing. It seems like it caught everybody by surprise. And so we'll see how that unfolds. Remember, from everybody I've talked to, they have this will not disrupt anything that they have going. Remember, Tony Clark doesn't do the negotiation. Bruce Meyer actually is the one that is in those rooms doing those negotiations. So,
all right, then
we'll see how that.
I did not know that because everything I read painted this bleak, dark picture about how the MLBPA is now in huge trouble because their chief negotiator is no longer with them in the year of negotiation.
I mean, and the thing is, and maybe the P, and I made this point the other day, the PA very rarely they don't really play the media game, right? They don't get out in front of stories. They kind of just let them go. They just let them in the ether. You might have one or two guys step up, but not in the same way that you see owners try to kind of win the public opinion kind of ideas. So they don't MLBPA doesn't really speak on those type of things. They release their little statement. That's as much as you're going to get. You're not going to have anybody talking in front of a camera or getting out there in front of it. They kind of just let the work kind of do itself because they know ultimately it boils down to these negotiations.
As a player, when you hear about this, and assuming I don't really hear about players not liking Tony Clark. I think they do like Tony Clark. But as a player, are you kind of thinking now, man, there's this stuff going on at the top financially. Like, what else is happening?
Here's what we don't often talk. We talk about a lot with the NFL, but it may not be nearly as big as the NFL in terms of the participation. But there are guys that don't participate like they should as it pertains to the union. They just kind of they're there and they're a part of it, but they don't necessarily get involved with the ins and outs. And I would say maybe it's some of those guys might feel that way, but if you're locked in like you should be, and listen, as a player, I wasn't always locked into the labor deals like I should have been. I mean, later in my career, I kind of realized the importance of it. But a lot of guys, especially when you're young, you just think you have a ton of time and that those things don't affect you. And so, it's rare that you get a guy like Jake who came in kind of already in that mindset. But most guys, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some guys a little worried, but that's what you reach out to your team rep for. You reach out to some of the executives that that are players, and you have those conversations to educate yourself on these matters. So, as I said, this doesn't sound like it's going to really affect much on the players' side. Hopefully they can. I think we are hopeful that they can get a deal done one way or another, and we don't have to miss any games.
Yeah, that's what we all hope. Speaking of games, Tony, Walker Buehler had his first bullpen as a Padre in the brown and gold. Sam Levitt's going to share with us at 5:40 what he saw from everything today. But Walker Buehler is a guy who I think can help the Padres, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do it with all the logjam that they have right now.
If indeed Walker can get back to where he was, as good, I mean, maybe not exactly as good as he was, but somewhere in that realm, I don't know that there's a better arm out there, right? I mean, if he's healthy and he can get back to being a Walker Buehler we saw. Remember, he finished the season last year on a hot streak. He threw the ball very well his last 5 or 6 starts. And then he talked about it yesterday about being, for the first time in a while, he was able to continue his throwing program. He never stopped throwing. That's always a good sign for a pitcher. Usually Pitchers hurting. They can't maintain that consistency of throwing all the time. Listen, I don't know that we know what you're going to get, but if he can get back to that level, I don't think German Marquez at his best. I don't think Griffin Cannon at his best is better than Walker Buehler at his best. Now, these are all hypotheticals. We don't know how it's going to shake out. And you certainly can't get anything from a bullpen, but it's nice to kind of to dream.
Oh, yeah.
that it can't be that way, right?
That would be great. One of the questions that I got was about Tirso Ornelas being DFA'd by the Padres today. He had a lot of fans here in town. He never really got a chance to show it, and when he did, he didn't perform. So it's just that's how it goes in baseball. But you were saying earlier in the show that he could end up back with the Padres. We're thinking this move was just because they brought in a bunch of position guys and they need to deal with roster stuff.
Well, I mean, listen, I think the idea is that the guys they brought in, at least the organization, by this move would tell you that they believe that they need to give those guys a look because they have a better chance of helping them if they indeed can win it. Tirso had a little bit of opportunity. He didn't have a ton of opportunity, if we're being fair. He had a little bit to try to prove a lot, and it didn't go. And that's kind of how this game works, man. You get a window, you capitalize it on, or you don't. And maybe you get another chance, maybe you don't. But if he clears waivers, I could see him back in this organization as a depth piece to, maybe come up at some point if the Padres need him. But it would be hard to argue right now that, whether you're talking about Castellanos, whether you're talking about Andujar, they got some guys out there that they feel like can, if they're right, can make a difference. So only time will tell. Let's step away, get to break. More Gwynn and Chris on the other side after some traffic.
Traffic will be at the end. But thank you, Tony.
Never miss a moment.
There's a Roadrunner. Meet me. He doesn't like me. I guess I wouldn't like me either if I was chasing me. As you can see, I'm all Aztec out here at the Aztec baseball tournament. It's the SDSU baseball alumni tournament. Right now, we are 1 under in the scramble, and Chris is playing well, Tony's playing well, but our ringer, Jack Townsend, is playing really well. So Chris says I can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but I can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
We are league 10 now, and it's getting really windy. It's actually kind of cold. I'm not gonna lie, I know we're in San Diego, but we're 3 under as a group. We just got off the birdie, and I just hit my defense. There's a squirrel, but he wants to attack me. Squirrely! We just got our second birdie of the day thanks to this guy.
Yeah, a 4-footer after.
It was a 5-footer.
After our pro drove it 300 to the front of the green and then chipped it within 5 feet.
Uh-oh.
Gravy, don't feed the animals.
Don't feed the animals. I do feed animals, but Chris made a birdie putt. Leaving the golf course. And we ended up shooting 63 once everything was accounted for, since it was a scramble, and we had an SDSU golf player, Jack Townsend. He was with us, and he did a lot for us. I think we shot 63 because of him. But we all had a good time. There's a Roadrunner. Meet me. He doesn't like me. I guess I wouldn't like me either if I was chasing me. As you can see, I'm all Aztec out here at the Aztec baseball tournament. It's the SDSU baseball alumni tournament. Right now, we are 1 under in the scramble, and Chris is playing well, Tony's playing well, but our ringer, Jack Townsend, is playing really well, so. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but I can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
We are league 10 now, and it's getting really windy. Actually kind of cold. I'm not gonna lie, I know we're in San Diego, but we're 3 under as a group. We just got off the birdie, and I just hit my defense. There's a squirrel. He wants to attack me. Squirrely! We just got our second birdie of the day thanks to this guy.
Yeah, a 4-footer after.
It was a 5-footer.
After our pro drove it 300 to the front of the green and then chipped it within 5 feet.
Uh-oh.
Gravy, don't feed the animals.
Don't feed the animals. I do feed animals, but Chris made a birdie putt. Leaving the golf course. And we ended up shooting 63 once everything was accounted for, since it was a scramble, and we had an SDSU golf player, Jack Townsend. He was with us, and he did a lot for us. I think we shot 63 because of him, but we all had a good time. There's Roadrunner. Meet me. He doesn't like me. I guess I wouldn't like me either if I was chasing me. As you can see, I'm all Aztec out here at the Aztec baseball tournament. It's the SDSU baseball alumni tournament. Right now, we are 1 under in the scramble, and Chris is playing well, Tony's playing well, but our ringer, Jack Townsend, is playing really well, so.
Chris, middle of the week, makes it a Wednesday, I believe.
Hump Day! Remember those commercials?
Hump Day, yes. Never really was fond of that term.
Oh.
Not quite sure why.
Yeah, why?
I said I'm not sure quite sure why. I guess I'll tell you why now. Oh. Actually, I have a reason.
Okay.
I've never been fond of the fact that Mondays are supposed to be terrible and Fridays are the greatest, in which that's the reference here, basically, that you're over the hump and you're on your way to Friday. I've said this before. If you're going to hate Mondays, you're going to hate 1/7 of your life, and I just don't think it's worth it.
Well, let me hate 1/7 of my life.
In this case, it's only 1/5 of your life if you're only going Monday to Friday. You can't count the other 2 days then.
Well, no. No, the other okay. Well, all right. Well, some people are only happy on the weekend, which means you're only happy 28% of your life, which is 2 out of 7 days. That's not great either.
But you don't. I feel much better about life when I'm going home from work on a Friday than I do on a Monday.
Most of us do. Most of us do. I'm trying to change that thinking. It's not going to work. And that's fine, because we probably have other things to talk about, including the fact that apparently not everybody is as excited with what the Padres have done the last several days in spring training as we are. And to that end, I point to an article that was out on ESPN.com today that ranked every team's complete offseason, or at least, I guess, to this point. I guess a few more moves could still be made, but every team's offseason was ranked. Of course, at the top of the list was the Dodgers, and they got an A. I don't even know how you can give them an A. Honestly, this isn't a direct, but if they don't, I mean, all they did was.
So why are you so mad at the Dodgers?
I'm not mad at the Dodgers. I'm mad at the ranking of an A. To me, the Dodgers should never get anything above a C, because the fact of the matter is, when you've got more money than every other team, tenfold, and then all you do is go spend more money than any other team, I think you've done pretty much what I would expect. So what I expect is C work. I want great work. I want somebody that thinks outside the box. Maybe somebody who's able to make something happen that is above their normal means.
I'm with you, Chris.
Thank you, Scrape.
Maybe not.
It's a rarity,
maybe not 100%.
I'll take it when I can get it. I'll take it when I can get it.
Tony's doing the look right now.
Well, I get it, and I see his point, but I mean, an A? Why? Because you spent more money than everybody? That's it.
No, because yes, they spent money, but they also got like the top 2 free agents at the position.
Well,
so I mean, like that.
But both free agents chose them because they had more money.
That's not what the basis is. The grade is for off-season moves and how you did. It doesn't matter how much money you had to spend, because God forbid the Padres' new owner comes in there and he's got a whole bunch of money to spend, and AJ is out here doing his thing. Should he not be allowed to get an A grade because his owner has a bunch of money to spend? It'd be different if they went out and just signed a whole bunch of people that, you know, weren't necessarily at the top of the food chain in terms of free agents. They didn't do that. They got freaking Diaz and they got what's my man, Tucker.
All right. Well,
here's what I'll tell you. I think a team that should have gotten A, I don't know where they came in, should be the Mariners. They made a massive trade. They brought in Brendan Donovan. It changed their team. It made them better. They had to part with some prospects. They had to part with players, but I feel like that is worth an A because you had to make it work.
All right. Well, the Dodgers get their A. And let's be honest, it doesn't matter how angry I am. This is somebody's opinion. This is an article. And the bottom line is I expect the Dodgers are going to always get A's. I expect the Dodgers are always going to be considered the best team in the world. And until somebody beats them out of a World Series, I'm going to have to suck on that because that's just going to be the way it is. It's not going to change. They're the best. They have the most money. And they've beaten us. And they beat us down every time. What I want to talk about is the Padres.
I wasn't ready for that.
I wasn't ready either.
I'm still wondering what happened.
Still wondering what happened. Shot through my brain.
If you need to go see this video because I think my face says it all.
Did you turn even whiter than you already are?
I just wow.
And Tony almost turned white, so that's a thing. All right. Go ahead.
Real quick, who did the article?
Of course, I read the article, and it took me a long time. Oh, go ahead.
I said, who wrote
the article? I scrolled all the way down on my phone to where the Padres are, and I don't want to scroll all the way up and look. It's either Schoenfeld or Doolittle or one of those guys. Go look.
Okay, that's why I'm trying to find it. That's why I was asking.
I know. It's on ESPN.com's baseball front page. You'll see it if you scroll down a little. Anyway, the Padres, you have to go way, way, way down, and then you have to go down even further than that. The Padres have been given a C- for their offseason. And I think, again, what the Padres do this season is going to answer what their grade really was. So
the Mariners got an A-, by the way.
Very good. So there was somebody who thought along with you. Padres, here's what they say about the Padres. Go ahead, Tony. Sorry.
David wrote it.
Schoenfeld? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So this is on him if the Padres end up having a great season, which I think they're going to. But here's what he says, and take it for what it's worth. He points out the additions: Michael King, Miguel Andujar, Sungmun Song, Nick Castellanos, and Griffin Canning. The other ones don't get a mention. Marquez, McKenzie, Walker Buehler, whoever else you want to add. Departures: Dylan Cease, Robert Suarez, Luis Arraez. That's not a key departure, right? And Ryan O'Hearn. All right. So here's what he says in giving the Padres a C-. And mind you, only 4 teams in baseball got a worse rating than the Padres. There's only 4 teams underneath the Padres rating. So that's how bottom of the barrel he thought our offseason was. Here's what he says. This is when all those mega contracts are starting to limit what the Padres can do because the payroll that they spent, and they're saying the bill is coming due. This is such an obvious take that just about everybody's going to make.
Yeah.
And then he goes on to say they'll get Castellanos for the league minimum, with the Phillies picking up the remainder of his $20 million salary. Will he help an offense that ranked 28th in home runs last year? He'll have to hit better than he has the last 3 years as he gradually went down basically in production for the Phillies. Castellanos and Andujar essentially are fighting for DH at bats, with Castellanos maybe getting some time as a fourth outfielder, which is not correct. He's probably going to get his time as a first baseman. And finally, he says, which isn't necessarily a good thing given his defense. He's had minus WAR, blah, 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 blah with the – I mean, he's not a Castellanos fan here at all. And he finishes up by saying,
he looks at him like you look at him.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Look, I'm hoping Castellanos does well, guys. That's fine. That's fine. And you know what's going to happen this season is he's going to hit a home run, and everybody's going to say, I don't know anything about baseball, and that's fine.
It's going to be Ryan O'Hearn all over.
I don't want this to happen again. I don't need it.
Anyway, the final thing he says is, I'm not sure Castellanos is going to help much. So that's his take on that. He says losing Cease, Suarez, Arise, and O'Hearn is a blow to the Padres' overall depth. Anyway, that's what he said. I'm reading what he wrote.
For sure.
I think two things can be true, right? He can get a grade right and he can get a grade wrong. I think when you look at the fact that the Reds and the Rockies got the same grade, like it's hard to really take them seriously. And this is why you have to be careful with people who write about teams, and this is no disrespect to David by any means, but I've never seen him at a Padre camp. I don't know that I've ever seen him at the stadium, and so he can only go off of what's happened.
He's looking for an angle, and he took the most obvious angle possible, which is the Padres now can't spend the same money, and then he throws in the Castellanos going to play in the outfield, and he's not even right about it.
I feel like he would have had a better argument if he would at least said because ownership is in flux in terms of instead he just went with the lazy idea that they got these big contracts they can't spend.
Tony's very right.
Really
the ownership
the
thing
more
is biggest.
Yeah, the more likely thing is
be correct then. That's why I'm calling him out.
Right. But if he's talking about money and spending money, he should actually say that the Padres did a really good thing by bringing in a guy who's being paid by another team for $780,000.
Here's the thing.
His point is that he doesn't think that Nick is
he's not going to live up to $780,000. I think he might be wrong.
I don't know.
Just because you get a player for $780,000 doesn't mean you want him living up to that. I mean, you actually want him to live up
to the 20
mil. Yeah, that's what you want him to live up to. You're just hopeful that he can do it at the $700,000.
What I'm saying is I would like to see in the middle of the season him write an article about how he was so wrong that the Padres got the steal of the
hopefully that's how it turns out.
Hold your breath.
Yeah, he's not going to write the article, but Tony is predicting that we are going to get the steal of the year. My final thing on this is going back to the Dodgers getting an A and the Padres getting a C-. Here's my last thing on this. Scrappy, you agreed with me, so stop laughing.
I just think I don't even have to do this. I can just ride your coattails for once.
The reason that I'm just bringing it up, you don't even know what I'm going to say. You don't even know what I'm going to say.
Agree with you.
What I'm going to say is that I believe the Padres situation forced A.J. Preller to be far more creative than anything the Dodgers did.
Yeah.
And so that's why I would consider the Padres a higher grade and the Dodgers a lower grade. There.
I think they both should have got high grades, especially for what AJ pulled off. But again, if he doesn't value the guy, I mean, the way he talked to Castellanos and he looped in Andujar. So he doesn't like those two. So to him, he doesn't think those are good signings. For us, at least half of us think those are both good signings. I think all of us think that the Andujar signing is a good one. He doesn't have Buehler on here. Clearly, he wrote this before him and Marquez joined. So it's kind of an incomplete incomplete job, I guess.
All of these are. We talked about last week. The Padres have a 21% chance as of last week to make the playoffs. It hasn't really changed for some reason, but it definitely has changed.
That's how everybody's viewing the signings, is that they're not that great. Maybe we all are seeing through our rose-colored lenses. I don't know.
I'm just going to tell you guys right now that by midseason, Ty France will be at first base, Gavin Sheets will be the DH, and that is going to be the signing of the year. There. Go Aztecs.
Wait, who? Oh, Ty France is going to be.
Yeah, I'm going to put Ty France at first base.
Hey, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
We'll see how it all turns out.
I don't think anybody's mad at that.
Well, Castellanos would be mad at that.
Has he played first base in his career?
Never. No, he's starting.
I don't want him to start first base.
He's already practicing there because that's where he's likely to see time.
So was Miguel Andujar.
What?
Miguel Andujar was.
Well, Miguel Andujar's played some infield in his life. At least he played some third base.
Okay. Thank you for that, Chris.
Here's what's all right. We got to take a break, but I want to. What's going to happen this entire year is every time Castellanos does something, I'm going to get hate mail.
Well, that would then mean that if it's the entire year, that you probably have turned out wrong. If it's the entire year,
and he's been great.
And if he goes 0 for 4 and strikes out with the bases loaded, I'm not going to send any emails.
See, but that's where you get a hop in there.
No, but I'm not going to because I'm not that way.
I
understand it's a long season. Matt Carpenter hit a couple of home runs when he was here. At the end, it didn't really work out.
Not only that, despite you feeling the way you feel, you still want him to go out and do well.
Of course I do.
There would be no need for you to want to do that.
My thing is a concern about his declining numbers, and you can't argue that that's a fact.
You can't argue that his declining numbers are a fact.
Correct.
Are we only going to highlight his declining numbers to be concerned with at that point?
The reason I like Andujar is because his numbers have been trending in the right direction. I feel better about him.
I think that's fair.
That's all. That's it. I don't know. I mean, I'm.
You sound like you're talking yourself into it and out of it at the same time.
No, here's the thing. I'm just bracing for the barrage that I'm going to get this year.
Can I tell you?
By the way, you can't. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Chris. I'm telling the people this. Chris is not mad at Nick Castellanos. He's just pointing out an obvious fact that you could point out on his
They're not
stat
going to
page.
hear you say that, but thank you.
I was trying, Chris.
I appreciate it.
They're going to hear him, but they're not going to care.
Right. They're not going to care at all. They're not going to care at all. All right. That was, I don't know. I think we just wiped out the 5:30 segment as well, guys.
Yeah,
More Gwynn and Chris is coming up with the latest from Padre Camp and our visit with Sam Levitt. Stick around.
Hey, it's Ben and Woods. We love San Diego, and this isn't just a sleepy tourist.
6:38. Last segment of the happy hour, and you'll roll right into the Chronicles coming up next. We got some business to attend to. Congratulations to today's biggest fan, Nancy Brady of San Diego. Nancy Brady of San Diego. Give us a call within the next 10 minutes. 833-288-0973, and you'll qualify for a grand prize. 20 tickets for you and your friends for a night in our Odyssey suite at a Padre game with all of the fan staff later this season. It'll be catered by Spiro's Mediterranean Cuisine. Remember to register your name at 973thefansd.com/biggest fan. Sam Levitt joined us earlier. Had a good conversation. We kind of got off the path there earlier as we talked about his Dove product that he was pushing.
Yeah, I didn't include that in our replay, but I did include.
Yeah, I know you.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I know you didn't. That's why I mentioned it. I figured you were gonna cut it out. It was kind of a off the beaten path of what we were talking about.
I mean, it's hilarious, but
I did see an armpit. I didn't think I would ever see like you catch a glimpse of an armpit, but never like camera centered, like there. It was like all up in it.
He's so much braver than I am. I won't even watch the
way
video 'cause
braver.
I'm scared.
But once he gave the reason why, it made a lot of sense. It was either an armpit or a full shirt off kind of picture, and I can see why my man was like, I can see why I would be like, yeah, let's go with the armpit.
If they would have said it's your armpit or a shirt, I'd be like, I'll take 100 pictures of my armpit if I don't have to take a picture with my shirt off. I mean, way back when, Tony, you knew these guys, Nick and Judson, they made me put on a wet T-shirt one time, like back in the day.
See, that's bullying right there.
It was.
That's bullying, right?
It was a Matt Kemp thing. He did like a wet T-shirt type of calendar.
Oh yes, me and Judge butted heads quite a bit over his Matt Kemp comments for sure.
Yes,
I'm a little sensitive about
how
we
he's
don't even
viewed.
use the word. We don't even use the word in my house. That's how against the FAT word. My family is. So I'm a little sensitive.
I see what you're saying.
My dad was called that quite a bit, and it's a soft spot. And so me and Judd butted heads over that for sure.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Right.
As a large guy, kids poked me and said you're the Pillsbury Doughboy. It stuck with me forever.
Yeah. No, we don't use the F word, and I'm not talking about that F word.
Yeah.
We don't use the 3-letter F word.
That's very good.
All right, let's check some traffic and let's get to Sam Levitt.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com. Here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Rivermark Medical. Getting a ladder out of middle lanes on northbound 15 before the 163, eastbound 8 at the south 15 connector ramp. Collision involving a couple vehicles. They're over to the right shoulder. Also have a collision on the Palomar Street off ramp, southbound 805 and eastbound 54 just before Rayo Drive. Accident has been moved over to the right shoulder. Rivermark Medical is conducting a Rapid 3 study for FlowStant, a minimally invasive device designed to relieve symptoms from BPH. Men 45 or older suffering from frequent, painful, or difficulty urinating may qualify. Learn more at rivermarkmedical.com. That's rivermarkmedical.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
A lot of eyeballs watching Walker Buehler with his bullpen.
Definitely.
Griffin Canning was out there. Joe Musgrove was out there along with Michael King. A lot of conversation. It was definitely outside of going to the big stadium for the simulated game. It's probably the thing that everybody was paying attention to most today.
Yeah, it was for sure the thing that I was looking forward to the most on the schedule. When I saw it this morning, I made it a priority to get over there and make sure I was there to get video. I mean, again, what do you take from a bullpen session? Personally, for me, every bullpen session I watch looks good from a major leaguer.
Yeah, right.
But the thing that's the thing that stood out to me just in watching today was it was one of those, and you do notice this in the bullpen, where Ruben was really, really involved, and he was involved in every pitch, and there was a lot of communication back and forth. And I think it makes a lot of sense when you consider that, this is right up Ruben's alley. Working with the guy, getting the best out of him, maybe adjusting some of the things he's done to get him into the best version of himself. Obviously Walker's had a lot of injuries and his body hasn't really cooperated with him, but this is going to be a project for Ruben, for a guy that has had a lot of success and obviously at one time, had some of the best stuff in the game, period, as he was coming up and in the earlier part of his career with LA. And you mentioned Griffin Canning. I'll kind of tie it into some of what I talked earlier about this morning on the morning show, which is, Griffin Canning spoke this morning about one of the factors he signed with the Padres was the fact that there's such a track record of the guys that have come through here on the pitching side and really developed and had really, really important years in their career. And we know the list. It goes on and on. You can point to the really, really good examples like Waka and Lugo, and I'd even use Michael King as an example. I mean, the Padres, I really believe, and a lot of this is due to Ruben and Ben Fritz and the work they've done, really have a reputation for being able to work with these pitchers and get the best out of them. I think that is a very real thing. And I think it's a big selling point for some of these pitchers when they're, a guy like Griffin Canning, who's probably evaluating around the same money from teams. And it's, maybe he has a few interested and it's, which one do I want to go to? Where do I think gives me the best shot, to kind of have a nice year to propel myself into a bigger deal the year after. And I really, really do think that the work that Ruben Niebla and his staff have done, it's playing a role in attracting guys. And certainly I would imagine they view Walker Buehler as a guy that they're going to try to get the most out of. So it's intriguing. It is from what is he now in his career and what can he bring to this team potentially in 26. And also I think it's jarring for Dodger fans to see him in the brown and gold. And I think there is a little bit of that as well. It's like, wow, that's Walker Buehler in a Padre uniform, which is something that takes a little getting used to.
Yeah, the same Walker Buehler who, was kind of public enemy number one with Padre fans for a little while there. Very, very, outward, aggressive performer out there. And I don't think Padre fans appreciated Walker Buehler too much when he was setting them down over the years. But yeah, it's funny how sports can make strange bedfellows, as they say.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys remember Major League 2 when they got what was it? What was the catcher's name? Bachman or something like that, right? And when he would do the little shimmy as a Cleveland Indian at the time, Bob Uecker would go, and the crowd loves it, right? And then he got traded to the White Sox. He had to flip it. Now it's kind of the same thing for Walker Buehler, right? The crowd despised Walker in his tight pants. If he can get back to that level, they would love him in those tight pants.
That it's funny you bring up the tight pants because I did have that thought as I was watching him. He did not have tight pants today. Now
he did.
Now he did it now. Now it's probably because it's his second day in camp. And
yes, give Tony Patrica's staff a little time, Sam. They'll get on it. Don't you worry.
It'll be interesting to see as time goes on. Does he have tight pants or is he kind of giving that up? But today he had very much looser fitting pants for sure.
Looser stuff.
That's the stuff you can't get anywhere else.
No, you don't. You won't know that if you're.
And it's important to me.
It is. Hey Sam, what do you make of the fact that all of these guys? You talked to having Ruben Niebla and the potential and Petco Park. To me, explain some of the reason why we got so many pitchers coming in here right at the last minute. But the one thing that doesn't explain to me is why you'd want to go somewhere where there's like 5-6 other guys rather than going maybe to a situation where you only had to beat out 1 or 2 other guys to get a rotation spot. I mean, look, Marquez could throw lights out and still not get chosen because, let's say, Walker Buehler and Griffin Canning throw a little better.
Right. Yeah, I think when you're evaluating the Padres, if I'm a pitcher, if I'm a starting pitcher, I mean, I understand now there are a lot of names in camp that are competing for 1, maybe 2 spots. I mean, look, I continue to believe and just a side note here, pretty firmly that Randy Vasquez has a very much inside track to being in this rotation.
Right.
Look, I do think you just wonder a little bit if a couple of these guys show up and pitch really well. I don't know. Randy's out of options. Okay. Could there be a situation where you try to keep Randy and also keep a couple of guys in the rotation, and maybe Randy's working out of the bullpen. I don't know. I still expect Randy's going to be in this rotation, and that's probably a conversation for as we get deeper into spring. Chris, I think from the depth standpoint, if I'm a free agent pitcher at this time of year, I do kind of like the Padres for the reasoning of being able to work with, I think, what's a really good pitching group. But look, you very well, even if you don't make the opening day roster, could be that 6th, 7th guy.
Yeah.
And on the way up, we need him. And look, we know how this goes. I mean, you don't wish injury on anybody, but you need more than 5 starting pitchers. I mean, you're going to need 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, it just is the way it goes. We know that. So, whether you're a Walker Buehler or German Marquez or a Griffin Canning or a Tristan McKenzie, who I think I saw on social media, Tony, I think you talked about how good he looked yesterday. I had somebody else say that to me yesterday. I didn't see him throw. That he looked really good yesterday.
He did.
Look, those guys I think are very well, and not everybody's going to make the opening day roster, but I think those guys are going to be there kind of outside as far as guys that are right there for depth when they need it. So look, the Padres don't, and this is unlike a lot of other teams, they don't have young pitching prospects that are like ready. I mean, maybe the closest guy would be this Miguel Mendez.
Yeah.
I don't know how ready he is or not. He still only has made a handful of starts at AA. So, from that perspective, it's not like you're competing against, kind of top prospects, pitching types that are right there. They're not. So I actually think it's pretty attractive because you may be in the group that's relied upon at some point.
I think that's important. I think you got to also factor in the competition part. Some of these guys are, in their mind are like, I can beat any one of these guys out for a job.
Right. Yeah.
And that's kind of the mindset you got to have when you're coming in. And this is something I had to deal with throughout my whole career. I was never coming in, maybe with the exception of 1 year, where I had a job or I was going to definitely be the guy off the bench. Most of the time, I was coming in to win a job, and you have to have that mindset that I'm gonna outperform whoever it is, and I'm gonna win this job. I did want to ask you, Sam, because today we got a chance to watch a little bit of the cuts and relays, seeing them kind of out there.
Yeah.
You saw some guys in some different positions than maybe you might have expected to see them. It's kind of we're kind of rounding into that first spring training game type deal here. There's a little more details that seem like were added to the plate today.
Yeah, today was the first day they really did the full cuts and relays, which is always fun. It's, to be honest with you, it's not the best for my video purposes because there's a lot of guys standing around between. It's between the outfield and there's balls going too far. It's all over the place. So, but it was good to see them do that today. And we're getting towards kind of what feels like games. And look, it's going to be, just to focus on the defense for a second. I think one thing to really look at as we get started here is first base. I think that's a fascinating spot for this team when you consider Gavin Sheets has played there a good amount in his career, but has not played there, quote unquote, every day for a long time. Nick Castellanos is over there working. He's never played there. Andujar has played there very little. Man, that's a hard position. I mean, talk about a tough position to learn.
Yeah.
So, that's going to be interesting. I think just as we talk about cuts and relays from a defensive standpoint, to me, that is kind of priority number one of figuring out how that's going to look at first base. And we go from there. But other than that, defensively, they're pretty set, which is good this time of year.
Sammy Levitt joining us from Peoria and joining us thanks to David P. Shapiro. That's
right. Speaking of David P. Shapiro, I've got my David P. Shapiro. I think it's Law Offices of David P. Shapiro water bottle.
When did this guy become a NASCAR driver?
Unbelievable. Yeah, he's just a walking
advertisement.
Shout out to the Law Offices of David P. Shapiro. Got it right here.
He's got the water bottle.
In fact,
we should be learning from Sam right now.
Yeah. It's a real, but I think put the ice in here and then the ice it doesn't come out with the drink.
Well,
so.
David P. Shapiro bringing us Sammy from Peoria. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys. They help good people regain control of their futures when charged with a crime. Been doing it since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com and ask him for a water bottle at the very least. And I guess Sam is going to probably leave us now and go use the Bill Howe toilet, and then he'll exit the premises and run on over there to
the Ruby Baja Fresh
whatever he's going to do. Yeah, I mean,
I know you have a break. I know just quickly. One joke I used to make with some of the producers of the Padres games, the board ops. We used to say in the studio, like, how many sponsored elements could you fit into one scenario? Like, could you go, and I don't know if these are, I think many of these are still sponsors, but like, could you go through Soapy Joe's while eating Sinley Food Chicken and also like, I don't know, like
in the Bill House studio.
Could you make a day where, or like, I don't know. Really
no, when Sam did Eco Water, he really sold it for me because I really did believe I could drink Eco Water out of anything.
With an Eco Water, yeah.
You want to drink out of a booth?
On your
Try
way to
Eco Water.
Then drive to Hamul Casino Resort. Like, if you pile them one on top of each other.
Fun spirited show today. Scraby Chronicles up next. We'll be back tomorrow. Have a good night. Tony Gwynn Jr. here from Gwynn and Chris. The Padres are marching their way towards a World Series, and we're going to make